News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Frank Lindsay. High stakes for today's World Cup match in Seattle featuring the United States and Australia. Former Sounders play-by-play man Matt Johnson tells KIRO's Gian Ursula a win would be massive for the U.S.
You get through this one, and then you're well on your way to winning the group, and here we go. So it's going to be electric. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal at Lumen Field.
Match starts at noon. Some hotel workers in Seattle still on strike this morning. Union members with Unite Here Local 8 started picketing yesterday outside the Embassy Suites in Pioneer Square. They want higher wages, more hours, year-round health care, and protections from immigration enforcement. Unions also calling for a return to pre-pandemic staffing levels. The hotel says it is negotiating in good faith and has contingency plans in place to keep things running as smoothly as possible. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says she's fed up with what has become a daily open-air market at 12th and Jackson and Little Saigon and the crime that comes with it. That intersection, drugs and all kinds of things are bought and sold along with stolen goods like laundry, detergent, and shoes. People who live, work, or see their doctor there, like Joe Ellis, are cautiously optimistic.
I want to see it happen. Talk is just talk anymore. You know what I mean? We close it down and then what? What happens? Why do they all end up right back here?
It's 5:03. Sully is off this morning, so let's get a check on the roads. Here's Ted Beener.
Thank you, Frank. Your Friday morning commute is doing well. We don't have any reported crashes or stalls, and traffic is moving at the posted speed limits. Some drive times, they're very good. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes. Renton to Bellevue up 405 is just 12 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, that is fantastic at 22 minutes. Coming in from the north end, Everett to Seattle Bellevue are both just under a half hour. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic, I'm Ted Beener.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
I'm Frank Lindsay in this morning for Manda. Charlie will join us here at 6 o'clock for Seattle's Morning News. On this morning's Start Here program, ABC News White House chief correspondent Mary Bruce breaks down the pushback surrounding the U.S. deal with Iran. Here's host Brad Milkey.
At this point, that memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran, the ceasefire deal, has been signed by both countries, meaning whatever ceremonial stuff you might see in the days to come about it, that's just ceremony. The agreement itself is set. In fact, yesterday, you could literally see it taking effect. Iran affirmed that ships could start moving in the Strait of Hormuz without being fired on, without paying a toll, for now at least. The U.S. military announced it had lifted its naval blockade of Iranian ports, and slowly but surely, more commercial vessels started moving. So the policy part of this, that's done. The political battles for the White House, though, those might just be beginning. Let's start the day with ABC's chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Mary, if there were grumbles about this the day that this was signed, we started hearing rumblings, even a dull roar. Tell us about the backlash and I guess what the White House's response is to it.
Yeah, Brad, we are seeing a growing number of Republicans incensed by this deal. They say it's a win for Iran. They are furious that it paves the way for Iran to have billions of dollars that some Republicans openly fear will be used by Tehran to further fund terrorism.
It's certainly not what we had hoped for.
We've heard from people like Senator Roger Wicker, the Republican chair of the Armed Services Committee. He put out a blistering statement saying the deal negotiates away the gains Americans made in the war and is, quote, completely out of step with the president's goals.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
But here at the White House yesterday, the vice president came into the briefing room, took to the podium, and described this as a win-win.
So you really have a win-win situation for the United States of America. If the Iranians don't change their behavior, their military and their nuclear program is still destroyed. If they do change their behavior, then they are going to have a transformative relationship with the Middle East, and the Middle East will have a transformative relationship with the people of Iran.
Over and over again, he insisted that Iran won't see any financial benefit until they change their behavior.
The only way that they would ever get any benefit of the bargain is if they comply fully and change their behavior.
Though he didn't say what exactly that would look like.
Well, it's going to be a holistic approach where we look at their behavior. Are they funding terrorism? Are they leading to attacks of other people? Are they trying to get centrifuges to redevelop their nuclear weapons program? There are all these questions that we're going to ask about whether they've actually changed their behavior.
But here's the thing, Brad. Iran is already profiting from this deal, which allows them to begin freely selling oil on the global market. That's something they could not do before this war, and which could deliver billions of dollars to Iran. So I pressed the vice president on this. How is that not a financial benefit? And they're being allowed to do that without making any new concrete nuclear commitments. So can you explain how is that not lopsided?
Well, first of all, they've made very concrete nuclear commitments. They have committed to the destruction of the highly enriched stockpile that they have in their possession.
But, Brad, that's not what the deal says. To be clear, Iran has not committed to destroying its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. In this deal, they only commit to negotiate about it.
Yeah, and just so I'm clear, Mary, saying like we won't let Iran profit off of this if they don't do X, Y, or Z, that's done though, right? Like once you've signed this deal, you're saying like these are the terms for the next 60 days so they can profit off of it.
Yeah, Iran is now able to profit because they are now able to openly sell their oil on the global market. That means that they are going to bring in, by one estimate, north of $40 billion. And again, the question is what happens to that money?
We felt that it was reasonable that if we're going to allow everybody else to sell their energy during this period of negotiation, we would allow everyone to sell their energy. That's all we're doing. We can slap everything right back on if the Iranians don't make the deal that we expect.
In this deal, the U.S. pledges to work to unfreeze some $24 billion in Iranian assets and to help create a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran. The vice president was claiming they're not going to see any of those financial benefits unless Iran makes progress to some unknown benchmarks.
Fundamentally, whether they're written down or spoken, this is why we structured the deal that we did, because we don't trust words. We trust action, and we trust conduct. And so we're going to reward conduct, and we're not going to reward any words, whether they're written on a sheet of paper or not.
But again, simply by signing this temporary 60-day deal, they are already seeing some financial gains.
And so you mentioned that some Republicans are like very against this. If you were already nervous about getting into the war in the first place, now you're like, wait, we're getting out of it with all these sort of concessions. Who are the most notable voices, though? Like, who is going to cause this White House the most problems?
We are hearing from some Republicans who usually are in lockstep with this administration.
Unfortunately, the president is receiving some really bad advice on this deal.
Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, the chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee.
History demonstrates that giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
All voicing concerns about the fact that Iran stands to financially benefit from this deal before any concrete nuclear commitments have been made.
Obviously, the money can also be used to support the Iranian proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Shia militias, Hamas.
The White House is dismissing its critics and even had a harsh warning for anguished Israelis.
I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
Keep in mind, Israel has been America's partner in this war, but not in this deal. This agreement calls for the war to end on all fronts, including Israel's strikes against Hezbollah in Iran. But the Israelis have made clear they aren't withdrawing from Lebanon. And the vice president had a really blunt warning to Israelis who are critical of this agreement.
Anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the president of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
And at the end of the day, then, Mary, where does that leave I guess I'm wondering, could this have an impact on Trump going into the midterms? Because clearly he was thinking about midterm prospects when he decided to wind this war down.
Yeah, the president made very clear that he was thinking about the economic impact that this war was having on Americans.
So the one thing I didn't want to see is I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened.
Despite the fact that he previously had said that the financial pain that Americans were feeling was not a motivating factor when he was dealing with Iran. But clearly, the Iranian tactic of using the Strait of Hormuz as leverage, their stranglehold over that critical waterway, is a tactic that worked. The question is, what happens going forward? And of course, the president and this administration have made very clear that if they don't feel that this deal is progressing in the way that they want to, that the president will continue bombing. And that means that, in theory, Iran could go right back to closing the strait.
Yeah, by the way, not even just midterm implications, I suppose, because you also look at two likely candidates for the White House in 2028. I'm talking about J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has, he's standing expressionless behind President Trump whenever he talks about this deal. J.D. Vance has kind of been forced to be the face of it. In fact, President Trump kind of joked that J.D. Vance might take the blame for this.
This way, if it works out, I'm going to take the credit. If it doesn't work out, I'm blaming J.D. You better be careful, J.D.
The vice president saying that's a joke, but I mean, we'll see what Americans think about all this in the days or weeks or months to come. Mary Bruce at the White House, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Today is Juneteenth, a day marking the effective end of slavery in the United States, a day that celebrates not only abolition, but activism. It's no coincidence that this was the day former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama chose to officially open the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago.
In your city of blinding lights.
U2 played City of Blinding Lights. You remember that from the Obama campaign years? As attendees gathered in the shadow of this huge museum that rises above this 19-acre campus. The facility includes charity offices, gardens, a basketball court, and a performing arts space. The performances by Christina Aguilera and The Roots and Stevie Wonder are a one-time thing, though. Now, it's not a true presidential library, since that would mean it holds physical documents from the Obama administration. This project decided to keep those at the National Archives, but it does have a new shiny branch of the local public library on hand.
I want you all to make this campus a part of your lives.
Michelle Obama ticked through some of the highlights of the center, but she also detailed her husband's career, the qualities that led him to become America's first black president. At one point, you could see the former president tearing up before she moved on to other issues, issuing several veiled shots toward President Trump, who, by the way, was not invited.
No one, and I mean no one, has the right to sit in judgment of who's American enough.
Meanwhile, Barack Obama centered his remarks on, one, how Chicago specifically formed his life and his politics, how this was the place where a recent college student became a community organizer, who learned how rich and complicated every one of his neighbors' stories could be. It's where he started a family and ran for office.
So, for me, this center could not be anyplace else.
He also hit on the theme that perhaps made him president, this message that Americans can still achieve great things if they listen to each other, if they respect one another.
The exhibits in the center are not meant to evoke nostalgia for some gauzy bygone era and say, oh, we miss you, Barack. They're meant to remind us of who we can be.
But most interestingly, I thought, in advance of Juneteenth, was how he centered stories of resistance, not just from back in the civil rights era, but of the modern day.
And those ordinary people in the Twin Cities who brave frigid temperatures, risk their own safety, standing shoulder to shoulder to look out for their neighbors and sometimes look out for strangers because they knew that was the right thing to do. I've seen it.
Just off to his left, he pointed out a newly built sculpture, a tall, soaring arch, evoking the phrase, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. You probably heard it. Well, he pointed out, while it's usually attributed to Martin Luther King Jr., before Dr. King used it, it was coined by an abolitionist preacher in Boston who watched a young fugitive from slavery forced onto a boat back to the South.
His was a declaration of faith, a defiant call, not to abandon hope or give way to fear, but to stay true to our better selves and true to one another, and to keep fighting, even in the face of cruelty and bitter disappointment, even in the face of impossible odds.
The center will open to the public today. And while you can think about what you want about politicians or our presidents or what justice looks like in modern America, you'd like to think that every American can agree on the values that make Juneteenth what it is, and that wherever you are, maybe today's a good day to build up your community just a little bit more.
Coming up, I'll look at the recent Supreme Court decision on guns and marijuana use. That will be in part 2 of the Start Here program from ABC's Brad Milkey. Weather forecast calling for a mostly sunny and toasty day, a high of 83 degrees. It's 516 at KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners Baseball, Trident's up.
If you're over 62 and feeling more financial pressure every month, you are not alone. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. I hear from seniors all the time who love their home, want to stay in it, but are worried about how far their money will go. Property taxes are up, insurance is up, monthly bills keep rising, and some of them still have a mortgage payment. A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating that mortgage payment, paying off debts, and giving you more room in your monthly budget. Now, let me say this, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can make a real difference. When you call Best Mortgage, you work directly with me for a free consultation. I'll explain how it works, answer your questions, and tell you honestly whether it fits your needs. If you're 62 or older and want to learn more about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
The Trump administration had fought to uphold the federal ban on gun ownership for most marijuana users, struck down by the Supreme Court as unconstitutional yesterday. ABC News senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer on ABC's Start Here program with host Brad Milkey.
Every few days, our senior Washington reporter, Devin Dwyer, sends this big email around to the whole office and says, okay, get ready, you guys. The Supreme Court is about to issue some new rulings, and there are a bunch of major decisions still outstanding. And while the Supreme Court does often leave its biggest ones toward the end of its term, it's starting to get almost ridiculous. Like going into yesterday morning, out of 19 rulings remaining, 8 of them were considered really big ones. Well, then, yesterday morning, one of those big, buzzy decisions came down, a case about gun rights, gun bans, and marijuana? Let's go to Devin right now. It's Devin. Can you just remind us what this case was all about?
A fascinating case, Brad, out of Texas. A man by the name of Ali Hamani, who is a father, a gun owner, and happens to be a marijuana smoker. Was being investigated by federal authorities a few years ago, and when they came to his house, they found a gun and they found drugs he wasn't using or holding either of those things, but the fact that he had both, and he admitted to authorities that he did use marijuana every other day, in his words, he was charged with a crime. And under federal law, that could send you to prison for up to 15 years behind bars. And he sued the Justice Department. He challenged that prosecution on Second Amendment grounds, said that the federal law simply was too broad, that anyone who uses unlawful substances cannot be put away for that long of time, much less disarmed, potentially for life.
It cannot support disarming someone based solely on the fact that he consumes a few times a week something that Congress has designated a controlled substance.
And part of his case was that marijuana was in many ways like alcohol back to the days of the founding. It was a substance widely used, socially acceptable, and certainly one whose mere existence in your life would warrant the loss of Second Amendment rights. And he won yesterday at the Supreme Court.
Walk us through this ruling then, because it was not like a closely contested decision, at least in terms of the numbers.
Yeah, it was unanimous, remarkable, written by Justice Neil Gorsuch, a conservative, joined by the liberals. And it basically rolls back a federal law that's been on the books for 60 years, prohibiting anyone who is an addict or unlawful user of a controlled substance from having a gun, using a gun in any form, regardless of whether you're intoxicated at the time. Cannot have one. And what the Gorsuch opinion in the court said yesterday, Brad, was that language, unlawful user of a controlled substance, is simply too broad, that there's no historical tradition or precedent of stripping away the rights of someone who simply uses a substance occasionally. And so this has the effect now of opening the door, especially for cannabis users in this country, to reclaiming their firearms. Gorsuch did say that this was a narrow decision. They are in no way disturbing aspects of the law that prohibit people from having a gun. If you are an addict, if you are intoxicated with the substance at the time of having the weapon, if you're a danger to yourself or others, if you're mentally ill, if you are a felon, all of those things remain in federal law prohibiting the possession of a firearm. But in no uncertain terms, the Supreme Court said marijuana use alone simply is not sufficient to send you behind bars for up to 15 years.
Like the person who says, like, I'm a casual marijuana smoker, like I used to smoke weed, like that doesn't make you a quote-unquote drug user by the words of this sort of ban.
Yeah, exactly, Brad. I mean, I met a guy in reporting this story named Rob Green. He lives in rural Warren County, Pennsylvania, hunting country, if you will. His family of veterans. He was a veteran, a father of 3. And until recently, he was also the top law enforcement official in the county. He was the district attorney. And he had a medical marijuana license issued by the state. He qualified to use, and he needed and enjoyed smoking marijuana frequently, but he had to give up all of his weapons because he smoked.
As of right now, I have 0 firearms.
And why is that?
I could serve 10 years in prison for having a firearm because I am, according to the feds, an illegal user of marijuana.
He feared the threat of federal prosecution, and that prison sentence would be a really long time. And he said, in his words, that this was pretty much outrageous.
Are there certain drugs that are so dangerous and addictive that it's not safe for you to have a firearm? Sure. Marijuana is not one of them.
While he wasn't a party to this case, he is someone who is certainly directly affected and will now be able to basically go hunting again and do the other hobbies that he enjoyed with his firearms and continue smoking marijuana.
Well, and so unanimous decision, should I see this as a win for the cannabis world, the cannabis advocates out there? Is it also a win, though, for like the NRA and gun rights groups? Because those are not usually linked, Devin.
Yeah, it is a win for both of those groups. They're not usually linked. And neither is the Supreme Court. Again, unanimous decision. Right. And the losing party in all this is the Trump administration, Brad. I mean, this was a resounding loss for Trump.
Unlike alcohol, robust post-ratification history supports disarming habitual illegal drug users, not just frequently intoxicated users.
His lawyers had argued before the court that this ban of 60 years was a cornerstone of public safety, in their words, and that even the mere possession of marijuana or smoking it occasionally was enough for authorities to put you behind bars, and they admitted they do prosecute about 300 cases a year where this law is the central charge in the case. I should say that this is the same law, Brad, that was used to prosecute Hunter Biden, who was famously...
I was about to say, that was like, you can't have a gun because you've been a drug user, and that was,
Yeah, and his case was a little bit different, right? He was an admitted cocaine addict and users, and he tried to buy a gun, lied on a gun form, and was caught doing that and, was prosecuted. So that, I'm told, is still all in play. This decision yesterday would not have affected that prosecution because he was a known addict and he did misrepresent on a form. But for people like Rob Green and for an estimated 6 million registered medical marijuana patients across the country, 40 states have marijuana legalized in some form. Among those, anyone who has a gun, wanted to have a gun, or is an enthusiast in some way can now have one.
Devin Dwyer in Washington, thank you so much.
You bet, Brad.
Your weather forecast, mostly sunny, 83 degrees today, and then tomorrow some clouds in the morning, but afternoon, mostly sunny with a high of 75, back up to 81 on Sunday. 59 degrees right now in Seattle. Coming up, Paul Holden will join us with his Weekend Planner. I'm Frank Lindsay. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine Experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Bonneville, Seattle, and KIRO News Radio are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. Today's World Cup match between the United States and Australia may not be the last time we see the Stars and Stripes at Lumen Field. Former Sounders play-by-play man Matt Johnson tells KIRO's Gian Ursula, if all goes well, the U.S. men's national team will be back in Seattle next month.
If the USA win the group and win the round of 32, they'll be here for the round of 16 match, and they should play Belgium.
They got to get past Australia first. Match time at Seattle Stadium is set for noon today. Even though some World Cup matches are being played in Seattle, other cities around the Sound are getting in on the action. Crowds have gathered at watch parties along Everett's waterfront, and that's been a big boost to businesses like Menchie's at the marina. Owner Leah Carl tells KIRO 7 TV.
We've seen a lot of visitors stopping by, not just at Menchie's, but at the port in general. We are engaging in conversation with people, talking about their favorite teams, giving them props for wearing their jerseys in the store.
One bartender says fans are piling into his place after the matches to avoid the traffic. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says change is coming to one of the most notorious intersections in Seattle, 12th and Jackson in Little Saigon. The story from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Open-air drug use and sales, public urination and defecation, stolen property of all kinds sold in the open at the corner of 12th and Jackson. Mayor Katie Wilson says starting now, SPD patrols will increase, arrests will be made, and offenders will be booked into the jail and into diversion programs. Residents like Joe Ellis say help at this corner is long overdue.
It's bad news. It is really bad. You're tipping around and looking all around at the bus stop.
There's a clear difference at the corner. The problems are gone. We've seen officers sitting at the corner all day. Residents and business owners just hope the help is not a here today, gone tomorrow proposition. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Sully's off today. Ted Beaner's in checking your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic.
Good morning, everybody. Traffic is moving well throughout the Puget Sound region with no reported blocking issues for your Friday morning commute. Drive times are great. For instance, Arlington to Everett, just 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle at Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Coming in from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM, that is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is 34 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time, that is 25 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is just 12 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Weather forecast, mostly sunny, 83 today. Overnight low about 55. Tomorrow morning, look for some clouds, but then after that, mostly sunny with a high of 75. Warm back up to 81 on Sunday. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's morning news.
Well, summer officially begins this weekend, and in case you're still looking for something fun to do, well, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Happy Friday, and we are in for a busy holiday weekend as summer hits full steam ahead. Today is Juneteenth, and there are a variety of celebrations going on throughout the region. Learn the history behind the holiday and the stories of the emancipation of slaves here in the United States during a variety of events, including the Juneteenth Freedom Fest at Jimi Hendrix Park, which features music, culture, food, community, and more. The Juneteenth Freedom Fest is today, starting at noon. There's also the Sound of Connection Juneteenth celebration at the Northwest African American Museum starting at 10 a.m., the Juneteenth celebration at Shoreline City Hall at 2, and in Tacoma, the Juneteenth celebration will be taking over the LeMay Car Museum's Hobb Field for a day of live music, food, prayer, and more. The fun starts at noon. Juneteenth is also a Discover Pass free day, so you won't need a Discover Pass to check out over 140 parks in Washington. As always, plan ahead for extra crowds. The famous Fremont Solstice Parade returns on Saturday as part of the Fremont Fair festivities. Yes, that means the nude Solstice Cycle Ride returns as well. But the people-powered parade puts the spotlight on community artists, floats, performances, and many more. No motor vehicles are allowed during the parade, so that's what also makes this event people-powered. The parade is only part of the fun that will take over Fremont during the Fremont Fair. There will be tons of live music and other performances, plenty of food trucks, a craft market, and lots more as you dive into the Fremont Funk. The fair is free to attend on Saturday and Sunday. All the events we're talking about so far would be a perfect way to celebrate the dads out there, as Sunday is Father's Day. If you're still looking for things to do with dad, you can check out the Olympic Air Show at the Olympia Regional Airport, or enjoy free entry for dads on Sunday if they're accompanied by a child at the Museum of Flight. Edmonds is putting on the Edmonds Art Festival all weekend long. It's a showcase of over 160 artists while also serving up live entertainment, food trucks, and fun for the entire family. There's also the Fenders on Front Street Car Show at the Downtown Issaquah Association from 8 to 3, and the Seattle Mariners are in town for a weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. Maybe your dad is a fan of strawberries, and if that's the case, you're in luck this weekend, as there's not only one, but two strawberry-themed festivals taking place. In Marysville, you'll find carnival rides, a beer garden, a variety of live entertainment, a parade, a car show, and of course, tons of strawberries at the Marysville Strawberry Festival, which runs through the weekend at the Ashbury Athletic Field. There'll be a petting zoo on Saturday and a car show on Sunday at the Burien Strawberry Festival, plus plenty of live music and entertainment, tasty treats, and fun for the whole family as well. Town Square Park in Burien will be where you want to go on Saturday and Sunday. Team USA takes on Australia in the World Cup today, and there are tons of watch parties going on throughout the region. If you want a full list of where all the fun is going down, make sure you check it out on mynorthwest.com, linked in our weekend planner. That way, you'll be able to plan ahead and find a perfect spot to watch one of the biggest games of the tournament. Here's an event sent to us by a listener. There's a fundraiser on Saturday for the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. It's a cribbage tournament that's being held at the fairgrounds on Saturday starting at 5. There will be prizes, and all funds raised will benefit the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. Are you getting into some family fun for Father's Day? Let me know at paulh@KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
Coming up, your political insights from ABC's Dave Packer. I'm Frank Lindsay, and you're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service, and even better results.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, sandwiches at the summit. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stick to your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit WaFdBank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC. privacy.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
If you're over 62 and finding it hard to keep up with the rising cost of living, this may be your solution. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we've cared for hens with healthy pastures and organic grains. That's why our eggs are nutritious and flavorful. Next time you shop, choose Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
These are your political insights from ABC News. A growing number of Republicans are speaking out against the Iran Memorandum of Understanding that President Trump signed to bring an end to the war. Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy.
Iran's left stronger. We are left weaker. Our allies are left weaker.
Vice President J.D. Vance defending the deal at the White House.
You know, I've seen skeptics of the deal. People say the Iranians will never change their behavior. Well, maybe that's true. And if so, they don't get any of the benefits of the bargain. But isn't it worth trying?
In California, State Senator Aisha Wahab and Melissa Hernandez, a Bay Area rapid transit director, will advance to a runoff to serve the remaining term for former Congressman Eric Swalwell's seat after neither received a majority of the vote. Swalwell resigned from Congress after sexual assault and misconduct allegations. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Weather forecast, mostly sunny, 83 degrees today, tonight 55, and then tomorrow, look for some clouds in the morning, but sunshine in the afternoon with a high of 75. Sunny skies again on Sunday, 81 and 88 is the expected high for Monday. Only 58 degrees right now here in downtown Seattle. Coming up, Seattle City Council member Rob Saka breaks down the city's response to prostitution-related violence along Aurora Avenue and what to do about police staffing in the city.
Mom, she was living on her own and scared. We didn't feel it was very safe for her. And we found Aegis. Love it. Everybody is so welcoming and she is just so safe here.
She has serious Alzheimer's disease. When she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a hug, and we dance together.
Aegis Living helps you understand your choices so the right decision feels easier. Visit aegisliving.com and see why so many families say, Aegis Living, this must be the place.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
There is nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden. Hi, I'm Gina, a designer and sign painter here at Sky Nursery, and I have been a huge gardener since my now adult kids were shorter than my lavender. When I get home from work this time of year, the first thing I do is head straight out into the garden to see how everything is growing and enjoy the spring golden hour. I'm in love with this year's zinnias and lavender, and the rose I added this February is just about to bloom. So I've been spoiling it with a little extra organic fertilizer. And as any gardener does, I'm also trying everything I can to make space for just a few more flowers and veggies. If you still have room for new plants in your life, June is a great time to get them in the ground before the summer heat. Come into Sky and explore the colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, summer veggies and herbs, fountains, containers, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store since 1953. Visit skynursery.com for free seasonal garden advice and summer events. Happy gardening.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Happy to have Seattle City Council member Rob Saka join the program this morning. Rob, thanks for being here. I know that we have so much going on in Seattle, but I want to start off with your district. You see so many vibrant parts of Seattle, West Seattle, Delridge, South Park. What are some of the big issues as we head into this summer that you're trying to stay on top of?
Yeah, big issues in the district are not too dissimilar from issues impacting the broader city of Seattle. So public safety is number one, making sure we keep people safe. Part of that is supporting our vibrant small business community, supporting businesses of all sizes. As we welcome the world for FIFA World Cup currently, we want to make sure that more of that, the benefits of the World Cup, including economic activity, artistic opportunities, et cetera, are shared broadly across the district and across the city, and not just left with or saddled with, some of the burdens or pitfalls of welcoming 750,000 people. So broadly, public safety, economic development, and, just crushing the basics of local government, from parks to potholes to, public restrooms. That's it.
Rob, we hear a lot about public safety from listeners, even in your district. The concern from many is we are finally able to hire more police officers, but the pace isn't going fast enough. What are you doing? What's the council doing in order to make things speed up in that category?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I definitely understand the concern from some members of the public and the community about the pace of hiring. That said, we are currently experiencing record hiring of officers. Since I've been in office, at least the last 2.5 years, we've done a number of things to quickly grow and scale our police department and improve officer staffing levels. We started at the bottom, in the pits, in the throes of this officer staffing crisis in early 2024. We had something along the lines of 850 or so deployable officers. Now, don't fact check me. I need to go back and double check, but now we're up at least 960, 970 or so range deployable officers. We're seeing record applicants. We're record interest in joining SPD for a number of reasons, including specific council actions that we've taken and pieces of legislation we passed to streamline and improve the hiring process. One thing that I personally did last year was I launched an effort to help lift us from the consent decree. And I think one of the most talked about provisions of that piece of legislation was officially reversing and repealing the prior commitments the city made to defund the police. So a combination of things. Unfortunately, it takes time. We're experiencing record hiring, certainly from the perspective of the last 10, 15 years. And we've cut down the lag time between, the recruitment process and the time we get fully trained officers deployable on the streets. But to have the best possible response times, and for a city of our size and scope, we need about 1,400 officers. We're on track to get 1,200 or so, I think, by the end of next year, which would be amazing. Plenty more work to do, though, and it's very clear.
We hear a lot from residents in North Seattle. You don't represent North Seattle, but you are a guy who cares deeply about crime and what's happening to people who live there. What else can we be doing to improve public safety along that Aurora corridor?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And some of our neighbors, although I don't personally, they didn't elect me, but I represent citywide interests, including the people of Aurora and the north end there. And I have a responsibility as vice chair of our city's public safety committee, and it's a responsibility I take very seriously. And I stand with the people of Aurora, the residents there, the small business owners, their customers, suppliers, business partners, who are so desperately clamoring for relief right now from the city. And it's sort of like an active war zone out there. It's totally out of hand, and they deserve better. And so definitely stand with them. I support efforts in the community's calls to close off certain streets, for example, that are problem streets for a lot of the drive-by gunfire activity. Look, we passed, and as a council, as a legislative body, we passed and authorized the tools. My job as a legislator, my principal power is to write the laws and write the checks. I have made sure, we're working hard to make sure that departments like SPD are well funded to address the gun violence situation there, better crack down on those things. Also writing laws. The laws are crystal clear. We passed SOAP last year. So the tools are out there. There could potentially be more legislative action that we could do, but the tools are there. We just need stronger implementation and enforcement of some of those legislative authorized investments.
What did you make of it when the city attorney said she was reluctant to enforce the SOAP laws?
Well, the city attorney is a separately elected branch of government in our system, and I found that working collaboratively with the city attorney on any number of issues, she's been a great partner to me in my office on any number of issues. This is one particular issue where, again, we have the legislative tools available at the disposal. I think we should implement and enforce and prosecute our SOAP laws. It was narrowly constructed in a very thoughtful manner, and so I think we need to enforce the SOAP law as part of a broader set of strategies and street closures, emphasis patrols, and all these things. But yes, SOAP remains a vital part of the solution as well.
Your weather forecast calling for sunshine today and a high of 83 degrees. Your overnight low about 55. Tomorrow morning, clouds and then mostly sunny skies, a high of 75. Lots of sunshine on Sunday, back up to 81 degrees, and 88 is what we're looking at for Monday. It is 58 degrees. We've got some clouds out there right now in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top local stories. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is going to be at Seattle Stadium for the World Cup match between the United States and Australia. At 6:15, we'll hear more from Seattle City Council member Rob Saka as he weighs in on surveillance cameras activated around the stadium during the World Cup matches. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
Full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA home loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law we can help.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. It's unpredictable, says the White House, about the effort to get more talks with Iran going. 2 days after the big signing ceremony in France, a trip to Switzerland for Vice President J.D. Vance to talk with Iranian reps is postponed at the last minute. Some of President Trump's fellow Republicans are openly criticizing the initial deal. Iran already profiting by being allowed again to sell oil. Iran demands a stop to the war in Lebanon, but overnight into today, Israel's military struck targets throughout southern Lebanon. Hezbollah reported intense fighting. Global oil and U.S. crude are trading a little lower today. The maritime data firm Kepler says Strait of Hormuz oil tanker traffic has picked up. A flu outbreak spreading among Air Force recruits at Joint Base San Antonio, just 2 months after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that annual flu vaccinations would no longer be mandatory for U.S. military personnel. This is ABC News. Cuba considering major changes amid a deepening economic crisis and a U.S. blockade, says ABC's Dave Packer.
The Communist Party approving a plan that would expand private enterprise and attract foreign investment. It would allow for privately owned banks and real estate development. President Miguel Diaz-Canel says that the changes are based partly on the experiences of China and Vietnam, where communist governments opened parts of their economies while keeping one-party rule.
Cuba's National Assembly would need to approve. Wet and wild update from ABC News forecaster Lee Goldberg.
Still some flood threats from Texas all the way to the mid-Atlantic. We're drying out in the northeast, lowering humidity, showers across the plains. It's nice in the west. The flood threat is from San Antonio all the way to Jacksonville, but it's a level 3 out of 4 from Mobile to Montgomery, up to 4 inches per hour and 6 to 12 inches of additional rain.
On Friday, June 19th, dragon boat teams race along Beijing's historic Grand Canal, with thousands turning out for the annual Dragon Boat Festival. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
At 6:02, here's what's happening. A cat man is behind bars accused of secretly filming young girls inside the Target in Factoria. There are graphic details, according to Bellevue police. He is charged with voyeurism and child molestation. The state Supreme Court has upheld a record $35 million fine against Meta, the largest campaign finance penalty in state history. The state says Facebook's parent company repeatedly failed to disclose who paid for political ads. And check before you swim this weekend. Public Health has closed Juanita Beach and Waverly Beach in Kirkland over high bacteria levels. You're told to keep your kids and pets out of water. At 6:03 now, we check in with Ted Biener, who is filling in for Sully this morning.
And good morning, everybody. The USA versus Australia World Cup soccer match starts on the Seattle Stadium pitch at noon today, and that means traffic approaching the Stadium District will get quite busy later this morning. Right now, though, your Friday morning commute is moving quite well with no blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. Ferries are running on schedule. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. And be sure to have those sunglasses handy. Some drive times. Renton to Bellevue is just 12 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is great at 22 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, that is a speed limit drive of 25 minutes. And from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Traffic is brought to you by LeMay America's Car Museum. Give this Father's Day at LeMay America's Car Museum. Enjoy hundreds of cars, racing simulators, kids' activities, and the new cafe. Make memories that last at americascarmuseum.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, 6:04, game day in Seattle. The United States faces Australia in the World Cup today, and fans from around the globe are flooding our city. From transportation tips to the best places to watch, you've got everything you need before kickoff. Here is KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey, who is live in downtown Seattle. Hey, Luke.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Right outside Lumen Field, which is now Seattle Stadium for the duration of the World Cup. But there is already a buzz and excitement going on outside the stadium. There are folks like from fans to mostly workers coming into the stadium right now. Another thing I want to talk about, though, is this exclusion zone that I'm in from 2 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is a massive no parking zone around the stadium. And if you think they're kidding about that, I drove in this morning thinking, oh, I'll find a spot or I'll kind of sneak my way around and this and that. No, dozens of tow trucks down here. I tried to negotiate with a parking enforcement officer. He was very nice. He said, look, man, you're on your own. I talked to a tow truck driver, said, we've been ordered to tow everything in sight, and they are, which is crazy. So I finally cut bait and parked in the garage. Enough about me, though. A lot of fans starting to trickle down here, waiting for the gates to open. And I'm joined by two from not far away in Olympia. Tell me your names again.
My name is Tulio.
And
my name is Tristan.
Tristan, let's start with you. This is your first World Cup ever. How excited are you? What do you think is going to happen today?
Well, it's going to hope that USA is going to win. You know, it's just cheer them on.
And Dad, you got son here for the World Cup. I mean, this is an amazing moment. And I see your faces; they're painted in the Star Spangled Banner flag. You got cowboy hats on and USA all over your wearing your shirts and stuff. How excited are you to bring your son to this game?
I'm very excited, sir. This is our first time coming to the World Cup together. You know, it's been a long time waiting. We just got some free tickets, to be honest with you.
This is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, have a great day. Give me one more, before I let you go, give me a USA. Ready, go.
USA! USA! USA!
Two fans. So much noise, so much excitement already. Have a great day, guys. But they're not the only ones. I also ran into people commuting down here already, like Peter. He's a fan from Linwood that got up early to get down here.
All my friends back home are like, oh, that's so cool you're going and everything like that. And they're like, why are you going at 4:30 in the morning? But no, I think it'll be...
Why are you going at 4:30 in the morning?
Oh, that's the military in me. I wasn't sure what to expect, actually, with the trains. They made it sound like, you know, you better get here early, and, you know, the crowds are going to be intense, as they should be, you know.
Yeah, and they will. I'm standing next to, I'm just letting you know, and a half-empty beer can and something else, liquid that looks like it's alcoholic, that is half drunk already. So there's some partying going on out here as well. Early this morning, 6 a.m. Hey, the U.S., real quick, is coming off a huge 4-win victory against Paraguay. A win today would put them at the top of Group D with 6 points for 2 wins. It would almost guarantee them a trip to the second round, which is a knockout round from there on, which means the winner stays and the loser goes home. The Aussies, better known as the Socceroos, that's the name of their team. Physical team. The U.S. is favored to win, but don't be surprised that this gets to be a kind of a chippy game, especially in the second half. Seattle Sounder Christian Roldan is on the 26-man roster. Let's see if he gets a chance to play as well. Getting down here with transit, I would check with their website. They have a lot of extra people to help direct traffic and provide security, but also they have on their website and other areas information about preferred stations to help alleviate traffic at any one stop. Today's tickets, really quickly, is on the resale market. I checked. Good luck. Free tickets for the guys from Olympia. That's good for them because on StubHub this morning I checked. 2 tickets in the nosebleeds, $2,200. It's not going to stop people, though. There's already a buzz down here this morning, and we're going to be reporting on so many things this morning for you, including we've got information on watch parties for you, and also businesses around the area, especially. I talked to an owner and a manager of an Aussie pub, an Australian pub in Ballard. Wait till you hear that interview coming up. But again, back to you in the studio. What a buzz down here. World Cup is here, U.S. versus Australia.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you. Luke Ducey reporting live. Workers are at the Pioneer Square Embassy Suites Hotel are still on strike. They announced yesterday they're walking off the job.
Union workers there demanding year-round health coverage, protection from ICE, raises, and improved staffing. We're told the timing is intentional with the hotel being right next to Seattle Stadium. We did reach out to the hotel. They said in part, quote, "We remain committed to negotiating. We are also focused on providing our guests with our signature hospitality and have contingency plans in place to ensure operations continue to run as smoothly as possible."
That's KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, here we are, made it to Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, commemorating the end of slavery in this country. National holiday today. I'm Charlie Harger. Manda Factor is off this morning. So is Sully. We have Ted Beener filling in. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning.
It's going to be kind of a different traffic pattern today.
Definitely quiet this morning, picking up later this morning, I should say, because we got the game starting at noon.
You got that. All right. Producer David Burbank in the studio with us. Nick Krasia is on the board picking the tunes, and Frank Lindsay is covering the KIRO Radio News desk today. And, of course, we got Luke Ducey down at the stadium. He is having fun hearing those guys chant USA, USA. That was great. This hour, Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. Coming up this hour, we're going to continue that conversation with Seattle City Council member Rob Saka. He weighs in on the decision behind activating surveillance cameras in the city around the stadiums during the World Cup, and Paul Holden will have the weekend planner. 6:10 now. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says she's fed up with what become a daily open-air drug market at 12th and Jackson. At that intersection, drugs, all kinds, are bought and sold along with stolen goods like laundry detergent, shoes, even clothing. People who live, work, or see their doctor there, like Joe Ellis, are cautiously optimistic.
I want to see it happen. Talk is just talk anymore. You know what I mean? We close it down and then what? What happens? Why do they all end up right back here?
Wilson says she's increasing police presence at the intersection. Arrests will be made and offenders will be booked into jail or enrolled in diversion programs. Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle doesn't have a lot of confidence that the plans to fight crime will work, because he says the city doesn't follow through. In terms of cleaning up sex trafficking on Aurora Avenue, he tells the John Curley Show, the key is going after the buyers.
A man on Aurora who has a girl that's 17 years and 364 days, that's a felony. The next day, when she turns 18, it's less than stealing candy from a store.
He's pushing for a police surge and more help for the victims. A former Snoqualmie Tribe social worker will spend 5 months in prison for stealing more than $17,000 from an autistic child. Prosecutors say she set herself up as the child's Social Security payee and diverted the money into her own account. She must repay the money and is barred from serving as a payee again. The Spokane wildfire that forced thousands of people from their homes is highlighting the growing threat of urban wildfire. We spoke yesterday with some guy named Ted Beener. He says the danger isn't limited to eastern Washington.
Now, eastern Washington has already got a head start. There's like over a dozen wildfires in progress in eastern Washington right now. We're going to have our step up to this plate coming up probably by the time we get into the middle of July and on through August and perhaps past Labor Day weekend as well.
All right, Ted says create defensible space around your property, trim your trees, clean gutters, and move firewood away from the house. Thank you, Ted.
You betcha. By the way, when you're prepared, you're not scared.
I love it. 6:12 now, time to check weather. KIRO 7 meteorologist Nick Allard is here. What's it going to be like for people headed to the World Cup today, Nick?
Really nice. I mean, I'm thinking you're going to find, into the low 70s around kickoff. It looks really great, and then turning mostly sunny and getting up at least to, say, like 82, 83. It looks wonderful. So I expect to be around 72, 73 right around kickoff time, and then just continued sunshine. We do have high clouds out there now, but those clouds are going to lift and just dissipate a little bit. So it'll be, at the very worst, partly cloudy to mostly sunny, and then just mostly sunny this afternoon. Tomorrow, wake up to quite a bit of low cloud cover, and then I expect to see sunshine for the afternoon. It'll be a lot cooler in the mid-70s. And then Father's Day is similar to that, although it gets a little warmer. So you have clouds early, and then you'll see sunshine on Father's Day, getting into the low 80s. And then Monday, Tuesday could be even warmer. I got us in the upper 80s and lower 90s. And it's really going to be hot across the area. We don't typically do 90s a couple of times in June. Ted could probably tell you. I think we've done it maybe 2 or more times. I think if we've hit 90 twice in June, like 10 times in 80-plus years, and maybe 3 times total, where you have maybe 90 or higher 3 times in a month in June. So it's pretty unusual for us to do that, and here we go.
And then we had June 2021, those 3
that
days
was the
of
third.
100
Yep.
plus. Yep.
92, 95, and 2021. We did 90 plus 3 times, and I think we're going to probably at least do it twice. So here we go.
Okay,
Yep.
Well, by the fans now, maybe find a cool place to go. All right, Nick, right now in Seattle, nowhere near the 90s. It's 57 downtown. Time to check traffic with Ted Beener, who's filling in for Sully today.
Thanks, Charlie. This traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Traffic volumes for a Friday morning commute are quite light, and we don't have any reported crashes or stalls in your way. Always good news. There are not even any of the normal slowdowns in the usual spots. There is sun glare in places, though, such as on northbound I-5 down the hill into the Nisqually Valley from Lacey and from the Puyallup River Bridge to the Fife Curve. Just have those sunglasses handy here this morning. Drive times, well, Arlington to Everett, a very cool 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is 34 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is great at 25 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is just 12 minutes. Get a new carrier cooling system now from Home Comfort Alliance and save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit Home Comfort Alliance now. That's homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Rob, you are a retired intelligence officer, and you were very vocal about the cameras around the stadium district. They are on now. How concerned are you about security when it comes to, an intelligence analysis in Seattle and across the World Cup?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about security, and a minor friendly correction there. I served as former intelligence officer. I did not yet retire and did not yet do that full 20 plus years and retire. But I am an Air Force veteran, and you're right, in the intelligence community more specifically. So as someone who is a practitioner of this work from a broader sort of national security perspective, I think it is far too reactive to wait for a purported credible threat before deciding to turn on those cameras. Because in this case, the people seeking to do our community harm, they need to be right just one time. Whereas as investigators and city officials, government officials, we need to be right every single time. And we don't always know, unfortunately. I wish we did when there was an actual threat. And so I think the best posture to best keep us safe is to keep the cameras on. The underlying risk is not going to go away. The underlying threat is not going to go away after FIFA World Cup. I'm proud to share and excited to share as a proud Seattle sports fan. The Mariners are going to go. They're going to make another World Series run. The Seahawks are going to compete again for more Super Bowls. The stadium district hosts 90 big events, per year, including nearby concerts in the area, et cetera. Again, we welcome thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to that area. Large concentration of people. The threat isn't going away. And finally, I'll just close out this issue by saying, yes, my perspective is informed by my experience as a practitioner in this space from a national security perspective, as a former intelligence officer, but also as a qualifier, finisher, and survivor of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. Me and my wife were one block away from the finish line on near Boylston Street in Boston in 2013 when the bombs exploded. And I'll never forget the terror and impact that unfolded and ensued in those days. And those cameras help investigators quickly identify the suspects and resolve the case and ultimately prevent many further tragedies. So in my hand here, I'm holding, and I know the listeners can't see it, but I'm holding the finisher medal for the 2013 Boston Marathon. It's a personal symbol of pride for me, someone who made it to the Mecca of marathons and finished, but also I think a reminder for all of us that let us never forget the lessons of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. We have this important tool. We baked in the best in class, best in the nation privacy safeguards and controls to prevent misuse. Let's use them. That's the responsible thing here.
Okay, and just because it can be a little blunt sometimes, I think what you're saying is leave the cameras on after the World Cup.
Let's leave the cameras on. Let's keep people safe. Let's empower investigators and better be able to position our city to hold people accountable for criminal acts and potentially domestic or national terrorist acts as well. So yes, let's keep them on.
Councilmember Rob Saka, pleasure having you on the show today. Let's have you on again soon in the future.
I would absolutely love that. And, here we are in the middle of World Cup. I'll just close out by saying, go Team USA.
That game coming up at noon today at Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field. 6:19 now, and even though some World Cup matches are being played in Seattle, other cities around the Sound getting in on the action. Crowds have gathered at watch parties along Everett's waterfront, and that's been a big boost to businesses like Menchie's at the marina. Here's owner Leah Carl speaking to KIRO 7 TV.
We've seen a lot of visitors stopping by, not just at Menchie's, but at the port in general. We are engaging in conversation with people, talking about their favorite teams, giving them props for wearing their jerseys in the store.
One bartender says fans are piling in after the matches to avoid traffic. Complete dominance from Mariners pitcher Brian Wu in yesterday's victory against the Baltimore Orioles.
The 0-2 on the way to Alonso. Swing and a miss and a sweeper for strike 3. That's strikeout number 9.
7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts for the 2025 All-Star. Nice way to bounce back from a tough game earlier in the week. Mariners win 3-0 and take the series against the Orioles. First time the team has won a series against Baltimore in the last 4 years. And stay home this weekend to host the Boston Red Sox. This one's tonight at 7:10. You can hear it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. 6:20 now. There will be no signing of a memorandum of understanding today as talks between the U.S. and Iran and Switzerland were called off due to intense fighting between Israel and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. News Nation's Raquel Martin is at the White House.
Certainly not a positive sign. The trip was canceled seemingly at the last minute and with almost no warning. Now, dozens of White House officials, advanced staffers, and credential media were already in the small town of Obergen, Switzerland, expecting Vice President Vance to arrive today. Even at Joint Base Andrews, Vance's staff and a traveling group of journalists were left waiting on the tarmac when the cancellation was announced. A White House spokesperson said overnight, quote, "The logistics of these negotiations have never been simple or predictable. As of now, the vice president is not departing tonight." The announcement from the White House came after a Hezbollah-allied TV network in the Middle East reported that Iran was delaying sending its delegation to Switzerland because of Israel's ongoing military actions in Lebanon. Notably, the first clause of the signed memorandum of understanding calls for the, quote, immediate and permanent termination of military operations there. Now, President Trump and Iran's president have already signed the memorandum, and the 60-day negotiating period began on Thursday. The purpose of the meeting was to start negotiating everything the initial agreement did not settle. That includes how much uranium Iran may enrich and the dispute over Iran's nuclear facilities. It also does not settle the future of Iran's missiles or its support for armed groups across the region. Vice President Vance also says any American troop reduction would only return U.S. forces to pre-conflict levels, not remove them from the Middle East. President Trump, for his part, praised the deal he signed, saying continuing the bombing could have kept the strait closed, disrupted the world's oil supply, and even triggered a global depression.
That's News Nation's Raquel Martin. Coming up on 6:23, we check traffic on the 3s with Ted Beener.
All right, thank you, Charlie. It is a Friday-like commute on this Juneteenth holiday. There are no reported blocking issues in your way, with traffic moving near the speed limit. Pierce County doing quite well. The ferries are running on schedule, and the Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing great. Some drive times. Renton to Bellevue is just 12 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is great at 25 minutes. 14 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton, that is moving well at 27 minutes. And coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Taking a look at the forecast now, we're expecting a high around 83 in Seattle today, mid-80s elsewhere. So warm one, and we cool down a bit tomorrow. 75, we'll have morning clouds, afternoon sun. Sunday, 81, that is Father's Day and the first day of summer. Monday, 88, Tuesday, 90 in Seattle. Right now, we are at 57 downtown. Coming up, more of the day's top stories with KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey at Seattle Stadium all morning ahead of this afternoon's big World Cup match between the U.S. and Australia. We'll also have your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
There is nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden. Hi, I'm Gina at Sky Nursery. I have been a huge gardener since my now adult kids were shorter than my lavender. This time of year, I like to be out in the garden checking on things, enjoying the afternoon golden hour. If you still have room for new plants, it's a great time to get them in the ground before the summer heat. Explore Sky's colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, veggies and herbs, fountains, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. Learn more at skynursery.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:30. I'm Charlie Harger. World Cup fever has officially taken over Seattle.
USA! USA!
The U.S. men's national team takes on Australia today, and whether you're lucky enough to have a ticket or planning to watch with fellow fans, there's a lot to know before the action begins. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. He's joining us live from downtown Seattle. Luke?
Yeah, good morning, Charlie. Yeah, there's already a buzz here. You heard that USA chant from earlier this morning. A lot of fans starting to trickle in. You're very curious about, what does it look like? What's it going to be like down here? I can tell you they're already prepping the music in the stadium. There are workers, heading in to their posts as well, volunteers. I see a lot of U.S. fans, soccer fans, draped in all the Star-Spangled Banner and red, white, and blue. Their faces painted. But I'm joined with by two, I should say, fans that have traveled a long way to get here. Michael here is from
Austin, Texas.
All right, this is your first time in Seattle. Welcome. What's your impressions so far? Looking around, seeing the field. You've got tickets. You're going to see the U.S. Australia.
Yeah, it's actually really beautiful. Stadium's a little bigger than I thought. It's amazing. I can't wait to get inside and experience this great match.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. Have a great time. And I will say something about Michael before we let him go. He is a Rams fan, everyone, not a Seahawks fan. So we want an extra special welcome to, and Charlie, you know where he's going to be sitting?
Where?
I told you where you're going to be sitting. Do you remember the name of it?
The Hawk's Nest, but it's all right. I'm going to be back here when Myles Garrett sacks.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got a little interruption. We had a little interruption. Interruption. They're booing you, by the way. Now, Michael, have a great time at the game. All the best luck. Don't tell people you're a Rams fan. We're just kidding with them. Hey, no Aussie fans here yet, though, which is interesting. I'm sure they'll come roaring in here any moment now. It's a huge game for both teams. The U.S. versus Australia, better known as the Socceroos. Whoever wins this game is going to take a commanding lead in Group D with 6 points with those 2 wins. Each one has a win so far. The top 2 teams, of course, in this tournament in the group stage advances to the knockout stage where you either win or you go home. Speaking of the Socceroos, the city is packed with Aussies, even though we don't see them yet, but they are here. A lot of expats, of course, in Seattle, but this is also a big day for Kangaroo and Kiwi, an Aussie pub in Ballard. Ayana is the manager there. I talked with her yesterday. They're opening their doors at 8 a.m. this morning for a watch party, but when they found out back in December that Australia was coming to play here in Seattle, they had a little panic.
My first thought was, oh my gosh, we are going to get busy. We're like, we got to start planning now. Like, everybody's going to come to the pub. Everybody's going to be in Seattle for this.
And then they started getting calls immediately, she said, from fans across the state, the region, but also from Australia.
Actually, the day of, saying, hey, we're going to come. Can we get a reservation for a table? And we were like, sorry, no reservations, first come, first serve. We had, for the first Australian game, we had a full house, and 75% of them flew in from Australia.
That's so cool. And they say, though, if you are going to their pub today, be ready.
Get in, get early, get ready to drink all day and party all day with us.
Sounds fun. Hey, tickets are still available, though, here for this game at, I always forget the name. It's Lumen Field, but now it's Seattle Stadium.
It's okay. You can call it Lumen Field.
Yeah, $2,200 for a pair of nosebleed tickets right now. But there are a lot of watch parties around Seattle, too, which is the next best option. There's a celebration at Pier 62 with a first-of-its-kind floating soccer field on Elliott Bay with a massive LED screen there at Seattle Center. That's the family-friendly fan celebration. They have indoor viewing at the Armory, of course, food there as well. Pacific Place has a huge LED screen, interactive zones, mini turf field, pop-up retail markets. That's kind of cool. That's free as well. And then Victory Hall in Soto is being co-hosted by the Mariners, actually, with an indoor video wall, outdoor screens, food trucks. In fact, everywhere you look, food trucks are starting to set up as well. And then Seattle Public Libraries, they have about 15 matches that are going to be live streaming at different branches around the city as well. All right. Despite the Aussies, on the whole, fewer fans are actually traveling here to Seattle than any other host city. That's an issue, and it has been for workers down here as well, especially at the Embassy Suites, which is right across the street from where I'm standing. Actually, I walked through there today. It's where the media zone is in Pioneer Square. Workers yesterday just walked off the job. They're demanding higher pay, more consistent hours, so that's something we're keeping an eye on right here. I don't see any picketing yet, but if they did, it would be right outside Lumen Field, right here in the parking lot. We'll keep an eye on that. But coming up at 7, the buzz continues. One of the rules that FIFA has is they have to play on natural grass. That is a rule that they have. There are 8 stadiums in the World Cup that had to transform from artificial turf to grass. We're one of them. And I interviewed the people and the director of Lumen Field about how they did that. I talked with them way back when, before the NFC Championship game with the Seahawks. Fascinating interview, fascinating to see it being laid out as well. We'll have that coming up for you again at 7 a.m. Back to you guys. We're a buzz here outside the stadium. World Cup, let's go.
All right, Luke Ducey reporting live. We need to get over to the traffic desk with Ted Beener filling in for Sully today.
Thanks, Charlie. Your Friday morning commute's moving quite well. We don't have any blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. The only slowdowns I'm finding, northbound 167 has some brake tapping involved with the merge with State Route 18, and northbound 405 has some slowing from the Renton curves up the Kennydale Hill. And be sure to have those sunglasses handy. Drive times, Arlington to Everett, 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JVLM is close to 30 minutes. Tacoma to Seattle, meanwhile, that is now 35 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is 27 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is now up to 15 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
Forecast looks like we will be kind of toasty today. 83 the high with a lot of sun. Morning clouds, afternoon sun tomorrow, high of 75. Then on Father's Day, Sunday, 81, 88 on Monday. Right now, the forecast calls for 90 on Tuesday in Seattle. Right now downtown, it's 57.
From ABC News Wall Street Now, stocks roared back to life Thursday. The Dow Jones rising 72 points to close at 51,565, and the S&P adding 1%. Gains for chip-related shares pushed the Nasdaq up nearly 2%. The market is closed today in observance of Juneteenth. If you jumped at the IPO and purchased shares in SpaceX, chances are you're back at even or maybe down a little. After opening at $135, the stock soared to $225 Tuesday, but has since dropped 20%. With oil tankers again passing through the Strait of Hormuz, crude prices have begun to come down, with the cost of gasoline close behind. The average price at the pump fell below $4 a gallon Thursday for the first time since early spring. Some visitors to Sin City are being priced right out of the market. Las Vegas, once considered a cheap getaway for middle-class families, is rebranding itself as a luxury destination. About 3/4 of Vegas visitors earned 6 figures. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
In one World Cup city, it's beer today, gone tomorrow. Boston living in an unintended consequence of becoming a host city. They're running out of beer. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Sam Adams saying they had to schedule an emergency delivery to keep up with fan demand.
I've been in this business for over 30 years, and I've never seen anything like this. And to have another round of the Tartan Army this weekend, we'll be more prepared for it.
It is the first time in 28 years Scotland has qualified for the World Cup.
We're going to come here, we're going to drink your beer, we're going to put some money into the economy, and we're going to have a right good time while we're doing it. Won the Scots.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
From ABC News Tech Trends. A new AI push is dividing Kansas City.
Officials there are getting ready to equip some public buses with facial recognition technology. Officially, it would be used to check if someone on a bus is on a list of banned riders who has been reported missing. Opponents, though, worry the program could become a threat to privacy. Pre-orders are now open for one of the most anticipated games ever. Rockstar Games now says players will be able to start putting money down on Grand Theft Auto 6 starting June 25th. It was originally supposed to be out last year, but now is expected to be released in November. And people of a certain age will remember the name Commodore, the Commodore 64, dominating the computer world in the 1980s. Now the brand is making a comeback on a phone. The Commodore Callback 8020 is a flip phone that is staunchly anti-social media. It's expected later this year, starting at $500. With Tech Trends, Dave Packer, ABC News.
Now, word for KIRO 7 TV. As the world watches Seattle, KIRO 7 News will take you beyond the matches. Live team coverage inside the best fan experiences, unique local stories, and the lasting impact of the games for our community. Connect to the Cub live in every newscast only on KIRO 7 TV. All right, Ted, what's coming up in traffic?
Everything's moving pretty well, but I'll have some fresh drive times here in just a few moments.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Let's say you get into a car accident. You end up getting hurt. You're missing work, and now the insurance company wants you to handle the paperwork yourself while you're still recovering. Here's what happens when you go it alone. They throw out a lowball offer. You're on defense from minute one, and you're scraping for a fair shake against people who do this for a living. But here's what happens when you call Harold Carr Law Offices. They handle everything. The paperwork, the negotiation, the insurance company, all of it. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you what you actually deserve. And trust me, that number is almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington, a huge qualified team, and a free consultation at carlaw.com. Carr is spelled with 2 R's, C-A-R-R. They'll actually listen to you and give you an honest assessment without any pressure. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr. C-A-R-R. carlaw.com.
6:43, we check traffic on the 3s. Here's Ted Beener.
This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. At the Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field, at noon, the USA versus Australia, that World Cup soccer match will start. And that means traffic approaching the stadium district is going to get quite busy later this morning. Right now, though, it is a Friday light commute on this Juneteenth holiday. Traffic is moving pretty close to the speed limit. However, we do have one exception. That's on eastbound 410. It looks like there is a blocking issue near the State Route 162 interchange. Got some traffic backed up in that area. The only other slowdown, that's northbound 405. It's crowded from the Renton Curves up to Kennydale Hill. And just a reminder, have those sunglasses handy. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue, that is just 16 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is great at 25 minutes. 15 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is close to 30 minutes. And coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 83 in Seattle. 75 our forecast high tomorrow. We'll have morning clouds but afternoon sun. Then on Father's Day Sunday, 81. 88 on Monday, and right now we're looking at 90 for Tuesday. Seattle right now, it is 57. Coming up, let's prepare for a massive summer weekend in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden tells us about all the big events happening around town. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you. All based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
6:47 now. Summer officially begins on Sunday. In case you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
What?
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Happy Friday, and we are in for a busy holiday weekend as summer hits full steam ahead. Today is Juneteenth, and there are a variety of celebrations going on throughout the region. Learn the history behind the holiday and the stories of the emancipation of slaves here in the United States during a variety of events, including the Juneteenth Freedom Fest at Jimi Hendrix Park, which features music, culture, food, community, and more. The Juneteenth Freedom Fest is today, starting at noon. There's also the Sound of Connection Juneteenth celebration at the Northwest African American Museum starting at 10 a.m., the Juneteenth celebration at Shoreline City Hall at 2, and in Tacoma, the Juneteenth celebration will be taking over the LeMay Car Museum's Hobb Field for a day of live music, food, prayer, and more. The fun starts at noon. Juneteenth is also a Discover Pass free day, so you won't need a Discover Pass to check out over 140 parks in Washington. As always, plan ahead for extra crowds. The famous Fremont Solstice Parade returns on Saturday as part of the Fremont Fair festivities. Yes, that means the nude Solstice Cycle Ride returns as well. But the people-powered parade puts the spotlight on community artists, floats, performances, and many more. No motor vehicles are allowed during the parade, so that's what also makes this event people-powered. The parade is only part of the fun that will take over Fremont during the Fremont Fair. There will be tons of live music and other performances, plenty of food trucks, a craft market, and lots more as you dive into the Fremont Funk. The fair is free to attend on Saturday and Sunday. All the events we're talking about so far would be a perfect way to celebrate the dads out there, as Sunday is Father's Day. If you're still looking for things to do with Dad, you can check out the Olympic Air Show at the Olympia Regional Airport, or enjoy free entry for dads on Sunday if they're accompanied by a child at the Museum of Flight. Edmonds is putting on the Edmonds Art Festival all weekend long. It's a showcase of over 160 artists while also serving up live entertainment, food trucks, and fun for the entire family. There's also the Fenders on Front Street Car Show at the Downtown Issaquah Association from 8 to 3, and the Seattle Mariners are in town for a weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. Maybe your dad is a fan of strawberries, and if that's the case, you're in luck this weekend, as there's not only one, but two strawberry-themed festivals taking place. In Marysville, you'll find carnival rides, a beer garden, a variety of live entertainment, a parade, a car show, and of course, tons of strawberries at the Marysville Strawberry Festival, which runs through the weekend at the Ashbury Athletic Field. There'll be a petting zoo on Saturday and a car show on Sunday at the Burien Strawberry Festival, plus plenty of live music and entertainment, tasty treats, and fun for the whole family as well. Town Square Park in Burien will be where you want to go on Saturday and Sunday. Team USA takes on Australia in the World Cup today, and there are tons of watch parties going on throughout the region. If you want a full list of where all the fun is going down, make sure you check it out on mynorthwest.com, linked in our weekend planner. That way, you'll be able to plan ahead and find a perfect spot to watch one of the biggest games of the tournament. Here's an event sent to us by a listener. There's a fundraiser on Saturday for the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. It's a cribbage tournament that's being held at the fairgrounds on Saturday starting at 5. There will be prizes, and all funds raised will benefit the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. Are you getting into some family fun for Father's Day? Let me know at paulh@KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
6:51 now. High stakes for today's World Cup match in Seattle, featuring the USA against Australia. Former Sounders play-by-play man Matt Johnson tells KIRO Radio's G and Ursula a win would be massive for the U.S.
You get through this one, and then you're well on your way to winning the group, and here we go. So it's going to be electric. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal at Lumen Field.
That match starts at noon. Seattle is adding 8 more ambulances during World Cup matches to handle increased demand. AMR's chief EMS officer, Curtis Dominguez, tells KIRO 7 TV more people are spending more time out in the heat.
So we do expect to have more calls, so we're definitely preparing for that.
All the usual warnings apply here for the heat. Drink water, rest in the shade, and look out for symptoms like dizziness, nausea, cramps, and fainting. FBI investigators are warning about scam ticket sales for today's World Cup match. Cybersecurity research Asaf Morag tells KIRO 7 TV he's found tickets to matches that don't even exist.
When I said I wanted a match ticket between Italy and Russia, I even invented a country in Southeast Europe. And they said, okay, yeah, we have the tickets.
The match between the U.S. and Australia is sold out. Legit tickets on the resale market are about $2,000 for the cheap seats.
ABC Entertainment News.
Wonder ever you're a bad man? World needs bad men.
Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are reuniting for the first time since True Detective. The two are set to star in an Apple TV comedy series called Brothers. The first 2 episodes of the show will premiere on September 23rd.
That is a huge shark.
Everyone's favorite week is back. Shark Week returns to Discovery on July 26 with 20 shark-centered premieres. Head to sharkweek.com to catch the full lineup. Bravo has released their first tease for The Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip, Roaring 20th. The special will look back on the franchise's most iconic moments and feature appearances from Real Housewives from New York City, Beverly Hills, and more. The special will premiere on Bravo August 9th. And happy Happy birthday to Zoe Saldana, who's 48 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
And comedian Carlos Mencia has been arrested in Los Angeles for allegedly failing to pay taxes on millions of dollars of income. Here's ABC's Andrea Fuji.
What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
The California Franchise Tax Board allegedly sent Mencia 78 payment notices, but they claim he never responded. During a 2007 show, he talked about how he thought taxes were important.
Maybe I'm different, but I believe that taxes are a good thing because they're the only reason that keeps us from becoming a third world country like the one that most of us left to be in this great country in the first place.
The stand-up comedian is now charged with 12 felony counts.
Time now to check traffic. Every 10 minutes, Ted Biener is here. And where do we start, Ted?
Well, we do have a problem on eastbound 410. Looks like we have a crash there. It looks like it's blocking all lanes, and it is creating quite the blocking issue. Pretty close to the State Route 162 interchange, we got traffic backed up to State Route 167. They're detouring people onto Valley Avenue there. So that's the only blocking issue in the region. Otherwise, traffic is moving pretty well this morning. The only other slowdowns, northbound 405 is busy from the Renton curves up the Kennedale Hill, and northbound I-5 is starting to bunch up from I-90 into downtown. Ferries are on schedule, and the Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive times, Arlington to Everett is 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are still under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM, that is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is 37 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is 27 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is just 17 minutes. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Sunny and warm this weekend. 83 the forecast high for today. 75 tomorrow, and in the upper 80s by Monday and 90 Tuesday. Right now it's 59 in Seattle. Remember, our inbox always open for your news tips, story ideas, comments on the show. You can call the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Text us there at 888-973-5476. And you can leave us a message at mynorthwest.com as well. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. Hosted by Open Road RV. Free parking and admission.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you. All based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. They're not simple or predictable, and now they're stalled, the U.S.-Iran talks. White House using the first two words to describe the effort. ABC's Mary Bruce.
The vice president was expected to be arriving in Switzerland this morning for these next round of talks, but that trip now delayed. And at the same time, Israel launching new attacks on Lebanon, making it clear they are not bound by this deal.
Some of President Trump's fellow Republicans are openly criticizing the initial deal, Iran already profiting by being allowed again to sell oil. Maritime data firm Kepler says Strait of Hormuz oil tanker traffic has picked up. Oil prices are lower. All of Italy is probably talking about this latest snit. Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani says he's called up his upcoming visit to the U.S., offended by President Trump saying Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni begged him to take a photo with her at this week's G7 summit. Meloni is ticked off, too. This is ABC News. Police have charged a third person with an arson attack in a Melbourne, Australia synagogue allegedly directed by Iran. There are huge cleanup operations in parts of the U.S. after some of Mother Nature's worst. ABC's Sophie Flay.
Outside New Orleans, drone video shows neighborhoods inundated with high water, vehicles stranded along flooded roads, some drivers forced to push their own cars. And at least 2 people were hurt after a likely tornado slammed the area. Meanwhile, in the Midwest, residents are cleaning up after a separate system spawned multiple twisters. Homes and businesses flattened in parts of Illinois, debris scattered across acres of land.
Mexico's got its viral animal World Cup sensations. Merlin the duck, dressed in Mexico's national colors during Mexico's World Cup opening victory over South Africa. Aceto, an 8-year-old rescue poodle mix in a Mexico jersey, sunglasses, and a cap, drives through Mexico City on a cargo bicycle with his owner. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
At 7:02, here's what's happening. Mayor Katie Wilson is launching a crackdown on the open-air and stolen goods market at 12th and Jackson. Police presence is expanding. Offenders will be booked into jail or enrolled in the lead diversion program. Councilmember Bob Kettle isn't sold, telling the John Curley Show yesterday the city keeps going in circles. Your tax dollars are covering a record payout from state lawsuits. Seattle Times reports Washington paid out $500 million last year, 5 times the 2021 total. Most cases target the state's child welfare agency. And a Kitsap County child care worker is under arrest. Sheriff's Office serves a search warrant in Port Orchard on Wednesday tied to child sex abuse material. South Kitsap School District says he worked for a contractor, not the district itself. 7:03, we check traffic every 10 minutes. Even on a morning like this, Juneteenth, not the busiest roadways, but we do have our issues.
That is true.
Ted Diener.
Thank you. It is a Friday light commute on this Juneteenth holiday. However, on eastbound 410, we've got a crash near the State Route 162 interchange. It has blocked all lanes. We've got traffic backed up to State Route 167, and traffic's being detoured onto Valley Avenue. Elsewhere, we do have a few other slowdowns. Northbound I-5 is 405 is busy from the Renton Curves up to Kennydale Hill. Northbound I-5 bunches up from I-90 into downtown. And southbound I-5 has got a bit of slowing at the 175th merge in Shoreline. Drive times, they're all pretty good. Renton to Bellevue is just 17 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 25 minutes. 15 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is close to 30 minutes. And from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are still just under a half hour. I'm Ted Bean with KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, 7:04. The U.S. takes on Australia in a World Cup showdown today. The city buzzing with excitement. Whether you're heading to the match, watching from a packed watch party, or cheering from your couch, there are plenty of ways to get ready for one of the biggest sporting events the city has ever hosted. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live outside Lumen Field to get us ready. Good morning, Luke.
Hey, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so we have got video up on our YouTube feed right now, kind of the lay of the land. And, not only is there a buzz down here, but security is really important, too. You'll see right outside the stadium, pretty further back, than any Seahawks game. They've got this whole thing fenced off. You see a lot of workers going in right now. And a lot of fans are out and about as well. I got some USA fans going by. Give me a USA.
USA!
Like that. But I've also got Ron here. Ron has traveled a long, long way, all the way from
Melbourne, Australia.
Did you notice the accent? Yes, he is an Aussie. Let me ask you first, and then I'm going to make fun of you. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just kidding, Ron. But so your impression here, you flew into Miami and then Seattle for the game. Here you are. How have we been to you? How was Seattle? How was all this?
Yeah, we came into Seattle yesterday morning, and everyone's been super welcoming. We'll see what it's like today when the fans are getting a bit rowdy, but the general population have been pretty nice to us so far.
What's your prediction for the game?
It's going to be a 1-0 win to the Socceroos.
We don't know who the Socceroos are. We're Americans. Actually, we do. That's the name of the team, the Australian team. So it's going to be a close game is what you're saying. I think you're right, but I think you're on the wrong side of that. So now is the time when I make fun of you a little bit here. So I heard that you all, dispel some rumors for me, that you all love it when we all say, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
You don't really do that, though, do you? Do you do that?
We do that, but it's like the only thing that Americans know about us.
Exactly. Okay, and one more. How about this one? Put another shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah, we don't call them shrimp. We call them prawns. So that doesn't make any sense to us.
Yeah, dispelling the rumors. Ron, I hope you have a great time. Seattle welcomes you. Have a great time. Stick around because I want to get some video interviews with you as well. But you've been a good sport. I appreciate it. Hey, some fun facts about the game. He was talking about a close win. That's important. Whoever wins this game. This is a big, big, big game in this group because U.S. coming off a huge 4-1 win against Paraguay. A win today would put them at the top of Group D with 6 points. Whoever wins this game is basically seeing themselves winning the group and on their way to the second round, which is the knockout phase. The Aussies, again, the Socceroos, are a physical team. My prediction is this will get a little chippy, especially in the second half if it's a close game. Seattle Sounder Christian Roldan is on the 26-man roster. Let's hope he gets a chance to play today as well. All right. FIFA has a rule you may not know about, or maybe you do, that all matches must be played on natural grass fields. There are 8 stadiums that had to transform from artificial turf to grass for this World Cup, including MetLife in New Jersey, AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Energy Stadium in Houston, SoFi down in L.A., Gillette in Boston, also BC Place up in Vancouver. They had to switch over to natural grass, but also, of course, Lumen Field, Seattle Stadium for the World Cup. They're using a Kentucky bluegrass and perennial ryegrass mixture of hybrid reinforced fibers. I know no one will remember that or care about that, but the point is, back in January, before the Seahawks NFC Championship game, I met with John Wright, the man in charge of the field here at Lumen. For the Seahawks game, he covers Sounders games as well, concerts, other events as well. The project to transform Lumen Field's turf into grass has been like 4 years in the making and a dream come true for him.
I mean, that's why we're here. So to have the opportunity to do things like that that's why I do this. Yeah. I'm not doing this just to punch in and go 9 to 5. It's to accomplish things and make the world of sport better in any way we can.
Yeah, really cool talking with him. You know, this grass is kind of a combination of real grass and also synthetic grass mixed in there as well. Also, they use a lot of state-of-the-art equipment underneath that layer.
With irrigation, vacuum ventilation, and working with FIFA has been super enlightening to see that international perspective and how they approach playing surfaces.
And also, they were working with architects and engineers, other field directors from all over the country and the world, and of course his network that he's developed over his 27-year career. It brought John back to his roots, he said, and combined that with almost 3 decades of experience.
Talking to academics, right? Like that was in school. Seeing new things, like as if I was 23 years old, seeing that, like, what does that do, you know, and it's the new thing. But then having the time and experience and network of people to bounce ideas back off and come up with solutions. So, yeah, it's cool. It's super cool. It's been an absolute dream.
Yeah, really neat story to see the field come together as well. And I've got video on mynorthwest.com coming up this morning. Check it out. You can see the whole transition. Coming up at 7:30, though, do you have a ticket to the game, or would you rather check out one of the watch parties around the city? We've got you covered. Also, you know what? Let's do some World Cup trivia when we come back as well. We'll see you then. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Ron's still here. Hey, let's go USA. Back to you, Charlie.
Luke Ducey reporting live.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, here we are. Friday, June 19th. Juneteenth, a federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery in this country. I'm Charlie Harger. Manda Factor has a morning off, and we also have Sully with a morning off. They will both be back next week. Got Ted Beener ably filling in for Sully this morning. We just have that one spot on 410 right now, but it might be a little different later in the morning, right?
You would think, huh? As people are rushing towards the stadium district.
Yeah, that's a noon kickoff for the World Cup. Nick Crashaw on the board, picking all the tunes. The groove is in his heart. Our news director, Frank Lindsay, is at the KIRO Radio News Desk today in for Katrina. Well, coming up this hour of the show, Manda may be off today, but she left something pretty fun behind. Down at Seattle's waterfront, there is a group helping raise and train puppies to be seeing eye dogs. Manda spoke to some of the organizers behind Elliott Bay Puppy Raisers, so be sure to watch our YouTube live feed to see some great pups. It is 7:10 now here on Seattle's Morning News. King County Sheriff's Office is investigating a stabbing this week at the Kent Sounder station.
Witnesses tell deputies a man was attacked by several people. That man then pulled out a knife and stabbed 2 of the attackers, we're told, including a minor who was taken to the hospital. The other person who was stabbed, not sharing any personal information with deputies. And by the time deputies got there, the suspect was gone, we're told.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says change is coming to one of the most notorious intersections in Seattle, 12th and Jackson.
Open-air drug use and sales, public urination and defecation, stolen property of all kinds sold in the open at the corner of 12th and Jackson. Mayor Katie Wilson says starting now, SPD patrols will increase, arrests will be made, and offenders will be booked into the jail and into diversion programs. Residents like Joe Ellis say help at this corner is long overdue.
It's bad news. It is really bad. You're tipping around and looking all around at the bus stop.
There's a clear difference at the corner. The problems are gone. We've seen officers sitting at the corner all day. Residents and business owners just hope the help is not a here today, gone tomorrow proposition. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, it was the young guys who came up big in yesterday's Mariners win against the Orioles. Cole Young and Colt Emerson brought in all of the team's runs.
And the right-hander's 1-0 pitch to Emerson. Swinging a ground ball, base hit into right field. Canzone will score from third. Cole Young riding third, heading home. The relay to the plate, not in time. Young scores right behind Dom Canzone. Colt Emerson with a 2-out, 2-run single. And the Mariners now lead the Orioles 3-0, and all this happening with 2 outs and nobody on. What a start for the Mariners here at T-Mobile Park.
And that was the final score, 3-0. The first series victory against Baltimore in 4 seasons. Mariners look to stay hot at home. They're facing the Red Sox tonight at 7:10. You can catch it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. All right, let's get a look at the weather, and it is looking to be nice and and sunny the next several days. We'll have some morning clouds tomorrow, but that'll burn off. Let me tell you, the forecast high today, 83. Tomorrow, because of those clouds, 75. Then 81 on the first day of summer, Father's Day, Sunday, 81. Then the heat really kicks in. 88 on Monday, 90 the forecast high on Tuesday. And Ted, I'm hearing we might even have to tick up a couple degrees over that.
That's a possibility, and both the records on Monday and Tuesday are 92 degrees at SeaTac Airport.
Okay, so we'll be close.
Yep.
Don't count on beating the record, but it's not impossible.
That's correct. We'll be knocking at the door.
Okay, right now in Seattle, it is 59 at 7:13. We check traffic every 10 minutes. Ted Beener is filling in for Sully today.
Absolutely. Traffic is brought to you by LeMay America's Car Museum on eastbound 410. That crash near the State Route 162 interchange looks like it has cleared as the traffic backup is much improved there. Elsewhere, your Friday morning commute is moving quite well. We don't have any other blocking issues that we're aware of at this point, and we got near speed limit drives throughout the rest of the Puget Sound region. The only slowdowns I can find is on northbound 167. It slows as it approaches 405. Northbound 405 is crowded from the Renton curves to the VMAC, and northbound I-5 bunches up from I-90 into downtown. Drive times, they're all pretty good. Arlington to Everett is 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, both of those remain just under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle, 37 minutes. Puyallup to Renton drive time is 27 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is just 21 minutes. Give time this Father's Day at LeMay America's Car Museum. Enjoy hundreds of cars, racing simulators, kids' activities, and the new cafe. Make memories that last at americascarmuseum.org. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Well, if you know me, you know I love dogs. I have 3 of them. I'm going to introduce you to a very special pup. His name is Flyer. Can we focus on Flyer first, and then I'll introduce the humans?
You just said his name.
Oh, I shouldn't have said his name, huh? This is Flyer. He's a puppy with the Guide Dogs for the Blind. And joining me in the studio, Brian and Carol Gregory. If the name sounds familiar, it may be because Brian has worked here at KIRO. You're an alum.
I've been in this building several times.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't this how you two met at KIRO?
It was at KIRO.
a few years back.
Just real quickly, Carol was a stockbroker. We used her company to do stock reports on the radio for the business news.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
So, when Carol called me, she said, I'm going to launch a puppy raising club. It is called the Elliott Bay Puppy Raisers. So tell me about it. How did you get to this point? I know you've been raising dogs for some time now.
This is number 7.
Yeah.
We typically get a puppy when they're about 2 months, we'll say 2 months old, and they stay with us for about a year until there's a 13 to 15 months. So we're not trainers, we're raisers. We socialize the dogs. We teach them, or help them learn, actually, good house manners. We do teach them or show them how to sleep in a crate at night, walk with us. We go everywhere. That's one part of the socialization is restaurants, baseball games, concerts.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of you in a theater at a show with the dog, and it just amazes me because I could never do that with my dog.
Well, they do learn to become small and can sleep underneath your feet in places like that.
Carol, how did you get pulled into doing this?
Oh, well, many years ago, I met a friend who is blind. She gradually lost her sight. So at one point she was visually impaired, and then she fully lost her sight. I met 4 of her guide dogs. And then I also met a puppy raiser here in Seattle. And between seeing the baby puppies and the working guide dogs, I saw this amazing these amazing animals just kind of develop into great working guides. And I love Labradors. I've always wanted to work with them. So this seemed like a perfect fit.
Talk to me about the connection you make with the dogs.
Well, canines actually share about 84% DNA with human beings. So there's a very deep connection with many dogs. Guide dogs does their own breeding, and so there's another layer of compassionate connection built into these animals. And connection is kind of a key part of what we do as puppy raisers. We meet with people in the community. We educate them about the dogs, and he's trying to talk to us right now.
He just wants to be part of the interview.
Yes. So that's something we work on, is making sure that they are somewhat quiet in public. And this is something I would normally start working on if I was in a room somewhere.
So you have launched Elliott Bay Puppy Raisers. What does that mean? How did you get to that point?
Here in Seattle, as you know, we've had the waterfront redeveloped. There's such beautiful public spaces all throughout the waterfront here in Seattle, Elliott Bay. And Brian and I live in the Pike Place Market. We've been walking along the Seattle overlook walk down to the waterfront, into the new Ocean Pavilion at the aquarium. I mean, there's this revitalized energy that I don't think you feel in too many places. There's connections being made just by walking with the dogs. People smile. They want to hear about the training. We're meeting people from all over the world. Yesterday it was Scotland, Italy, Germany.
A great time to be roaming around the city with the World Cup in town.
And we also see a lot of people that live here. Their families are coming to visit. There's a vibrancy here. And I just felt like this is the best place to have a puppy raiser club. For these puppies to learn how to work with individuals in public spaces, and also for us to share the message of what Guide Dog's mission is all about. So it's that connection that's happening at the waterfront and that energy. It seems like a perfect match to me.
If someone is thinking about becoming a puppy raiser, where do they start?
Well, you can go to Guide Dogs for the Blind, and you can fill out, there's a link to volunteerism. You can fill out your name, address, phone number, and Guide Dogs will match you to a club in your community.
Anything else you'd like to point out?
Just that this is very rewarding. There is a lot of support in the club. Some people think, I can't have a puppy today because of blank. There's all kinds of reasons. I will say it's like a puzzle, and the support of the club will help people figure out, can I be a raiser? Maybe I should be a co-raiser, or maybe I could be a puppy sitter.
Yeah.
And maybe I could just show up to events and be around these lovely animals and help in any way that I can.
Seattle is definitely a dog town.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will get some interest.
It's a lot of fun, and as I mentioned before, it's rewarding when you know that it's changing somebody's life.
Brian and Carol Gregory, thank you. If you happen to see these two roam in the market, say hi to Flyer. He's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Good luck.
Thank you, Amanda.
7:21 now. Search and rescue volunteers saved a 5-year-old girl who got swept away in a fast-moving creek near Snoqualmie Pass.
King County Explorer Search and Rescue says the girl was trying to cross a creek near Franklin Falls Wednesday. That's a really popular area when she stepped into a deep hole. The current immediately knocked her off her feet and carried her downstream in water that was only 40 degrees. And 2 members of the rescue group were nearby, thankfully, and rushed into the water. They were able to pull her safely out before she was swept any further downstream.
That's Dee Dee Sun from KIRO TV. Dry conditions in western Washington fueling concerns about wildfire around here. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports local fire crews have been busy as of late.
Since May 1st, Eastside Fire and Rescue say they've responded to 33 bark and brush fires in their service area. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, last month was the 37th driest May on record for Washington since 1895, with rainfall more than a half inch below normal.
Okay, so Ted Biener, let's have you put on your emergency management hat for a bit, because for years you have talked about just the danger, even in the suburbs, of there being an issue if there is a wildfire near your home. It is not out of the question. I live very near Bonnie Lake. I go by that burn scar a couple times a week. So what are some things you can do to make your house a little safer?
Well, first of all, you want to build defensible space around your home or your business for that matter. So some simple things to do: trim up those limbs of trees that are around your yard up above your head. If you have firewood next to your house, move it away, because that's just kindling waiting to get caught on fire. and clean your roof and gutters. I've done that already for this season because keep in mind what happened with the LA fires. That wind was blowing embers miles downstream. The embers land on your roof or in your gutters. If there's debris there of some kind, tree or leaf debris, that will catch fire and off we go. So that's the things you can do. And one of the phrases I always like to use is when you're prepared, you're not scared. So prepare yourself for defense against any potential urban interface wildfire. We've had them here before. You mentioned the Bonnie Lake event from Labor Day weekend of 2020. Let's go back to June 6th, 1889. We had wind there, and that was the Great Seattle Fire here in downtown Seattle. So it can happen.
All right, Ted, thank you for that. Now, let's have you put your traffic reporting hat back on as we take a look at this Friday morning commute.
Well, I do have some good news. The crash on eastbound 410 near the State Route 162 interchange has cleared. Traffic is moving through that scene very well. Otherwise, right now, it is a light Friday commute on this Juneteenth holiday. There are no other reported blocking issues in your way with traffic moving pretty darn close to the speed limit. The only slowdowns I can find on southbound 405, we got some merge crowding as you go through the Canyon Park area. Northbound 405 is crowded from the Renton curves up to the VMAC, and northbound I-5 slows from Albro into downtown. Now, the USA versus Australia World Cup soccer match will start at noon at the Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field. And that means traffic approaching the stadium district will get busy, quite a bit busy, later here this morning. The ferries are running on schedule, and the Narrows and Lake bridges are doing well. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue, that's up to 21 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is 25 minutes. 16 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is close to 30 minutes. And from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. I'm Ted Beaton with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
And the forecast looks to be warm and dry the next several days. 83 the forecast for today. Tomorrow we start off with morning clouds, afternoon sun, mid-70s in Seattle. Then the heat up really begins. 81 Sunday, 88 Monday, 90 plus on Tuesday. Right now downtown, it's 59. Coming up, more of the day's top local headlines. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey at Seattle Stadium ahead of the big World Cup match against Australia. And in the 7:35 commentary, for Seattle voters, progressive Democrats aren't enough. I explained the steep pitch to the left for this city coming up in just about 10 minutes from now. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind. No maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi
And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
You pay what we pay. Ford employee pricing is on now at Kendall Ford of Marysville. From Ford trucks and SUVs to Broncos, Mustangs, and more. Get in on incredible savings on select 2025 and 2026 Fords and get real American value. Bring on those warmer weather adventures in a new Ford and save thousands. Take those adventures off-road in a new 2025 Ford Bronco Badlands 4x4 and save over $7,100 off MSRP. Feel the all-electric exhilaration of a new all-wheel drive 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Now over $11,500 off MSRP. With Ford employee pricing, you can buy like an employee and save like an employee. Get in on the savings and stop by Kendall Ford of Marysville today. Kendall. Let's start something great.
VIN number 1F SLB 83112 and 3F SMA 54938. All factory rebates subject to change. Prices not include taxes, title, or license. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 6/30/26.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
USA! USA! Seattle ready for its moment on the world stage. The United States meets Australia in a highly anticipated World Cup match today. And from fan festivals to watch parties, the city is packed with excitement ahead of kickoff. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joining us live from downtown Seattle with more. Luke.
Yeah, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Right outside of Lumen Field, right behind the Hawks' Nest on the north side of the stadium, where there is a lot of buzz, a lot of people, and I see a sea of red, white, and blue, from jerseys to face paint to hats to you name it. A lot of U.S. soccer fans, and then every now and then a cluster of that green and yellow of the fans of the Socceroos, the Australian national team. Most people arriving by Sound Transit, all of them telling me, and I've asked a lot of people, smooth sailing getting down here, but do not think that you're going to drive down here and park anywhere. There is a bubble around the stadium district where there is no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 p.m. I got to tell you, there's a fleet of tow trucks here. I have never seen so many trucks and cars towed ever in my life. Kickoff is 12 noon here at Lumen Field. Hey, I promised a little trivia half an hour ago. Let's do it. Let's dive right in.
Okay.
What was the first country to host the FIFA World Cup? You know the answer to that?
England.
Not even close. Uruguay. Uruguay back in 1930.
That was my second guess.
Right, I know you, Charlie. True or false, the United States has reached a World Cup semifinal. Have they?
No.
Yes, they have. It's true. And kind of a trick question. The U.S. reached that semifinal
for 2,
in
Charlie.
the inaugural 1930 World Cup. And finally, the World Cup final drew the largest reported attendance ever. Do you know where and when and how many people?
Oh, my.
Okay, I am guessing it was Salt Lake City in 1983, and there were 5,400 people.
Close. 1950, a match between Brazil and Uruguay at the Maracanã Stadium in Brazil. 200,000 people in the Maracanã Stadium. That is how popular soccer is for the rest of the world, and it's growing here in the U.S. Big game. This is the biggest game yet for the U.S. and Australia. U.S. coming off a huge 4-1 win against Paraguay. A win today by either team would put that team at the top of Group D with 6 points. That means they would win the group, no doubt about it, and they would get themselves through to the second round. The Aussies, better known as the Socceroos, pretty physical team. I expect this game to get a little chippy, especially in the second half if it's pretty close. Still tickets available, folks, for today's game on StubHub this morning if you want. Starting for a pair of tickets in the nosebleeds, $2,200.
Crikey.
But if you're like my... crikey, right. If you're like my neighbors, Dennis and Nancy, they're going to go to a watch party today. There are so many watch parties around the city, including at Pier 62. They have a first-of-its-kind floating soccer field on Elliott Bay, massive LED screen. At the Seattle Center, there's a free family-friendly watch party at the Armory. Plenty of food there as well for the kids. Pacific Place has one as well with screens and pop-up retail marketplaces. That's kind of cool. Also, Victory Hall in Soto being co-hosted by the Seattle Mariners, so that's also awesome. Talked with a lot of Aussies this morning as well. They're mostly heading down to the zone right across from T-Mobile, where there is a party going on for the Aussies this morning. As one reminded me last half hour that the last host city they were in, the Aussies drank the pubs dry. That's for real. They legit did that. So we'll see what happens soon enough. Coming up in the next half hour, though, we're going to have the latest from outside the stadium. More and more people packing in. Also, Seattle is being overrun by a lot of Aussies this morning, including one Aussie pub in Ballard. They have got a really interesting story, especially their panic moment when they realized that, the Aussies are coming here to Seattle. Can't wait to share that story with you. We'll see you in a half an hour live outside Lumen Field. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Luke. Let's head over to the traffic desk now. Ted Biener is watching things on this national holiday.
He's having way too much fun down there. He is having a great time. All right, this report is brought to you by Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Well, your Friday morning commute moving pretty well. We don't have any blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. There are a few slowdowns, though, that I have found. Northbound 405 is pretty crowded at times from the Renton Curves to the VMAC, and northbound I-5 now slows from Albro into downtown. Be sure, there's got all that sunshine out there, so have those sunglasses handy. Drive times, Arlington to Everett is 14 minutes. Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are about a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is now 40 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is 27 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue, that is now up to 26 minutes. Serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews, 1-800-DUIAWAY.com. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic.
Sunny and very warm today, 83, 75 tomorrow after morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and on Father's Day, sunny and a high of 81. Right now in Seattle, it's 59.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO News Radio.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. On Tuesday, the Democrats of Seattle's 43rd District endorsed 30-year-old labor organizer Hannah Sabio Howell over Jamie Peterson for the state Senate. She won the sole endorsement of the Democrats. Peterson didn't. Now, Jamie Peterson, the man who runs the Washington State Senate as majority leader, lead architect of the new millionaire income tax, a fixture in the 43rd for almost 20 years. And his own district Democrats just told him he's not progressive enough. I want to walk you through this carefully because if you've been busy raising kids, paying bills, you miss the shift that's happened in Seattle politics over the last few years. Well, this is the moment to catch up. Peterson championed Washington's marriage equality law. He led the charge to abolish the death penalty. He's been one of Olympia's loudest voices on gun safety and police reform. And this spring, he shepherded the first state income tax in Washington history through the Senate. In most of America, that is the resume of a liberal lion. In the 43rd, it brought him a primary challenge. See, Sabio Howell backs the millionaire income tax too. She just thinks it's too small. She wants a wealth tax stacked on top, the estate tax protected, and a corporate payroll tax revived. Peterson has dismissed her as a, quote, junior staffer. That's a man who feels the ground shifting under him. You can run this play at every level of power in the region. The most senior Democrat draws fire from the left for not being progressive enough. Socialist Katie Wilson knocked off normie Democrat Mayor Bruce Harrell last fall, and this isn't just a Seattle story. Look at the national board. Zoran Mamdani is the socialist mayor of New York. A socialist just won the Democratic primary for D.C. mayor. In Los Angeles, Karen Bass facing a socialist challenger. Seattle is the leading edge of all of it. Speaker of the House, Lori Jenkins, who's considered left-wing anywhere outside Seattle, may face a leadership challenge from fellow House members, not progressive enough. State Representative Sean Scott is the first declared socialist ever elected to the Washington State Legislature in over a century. His signature bill is a 5% statewide payroll tax on every dollar an employer pays an employee above $125,000 a year. Tax the rich. Now, what does rich actually mean to these candidates? See, Scott's payroll tax kicks in at $125,000 for employees. In Seattle, somebody making that amount is a veteran nurse, a mid-career software developer, a teacher with 20 years in. The word rich is doing some heavy lifting. Peterson and Jenkins aren't moderates by any national measure. They are liberals anywhere outside of a big city. But inside the Seattle Democratic ecosystem, they are the establishment getting told they aren't pure enough. The winners of these primaries are competing on one question: how fast and how hard to tax, how to make sure the government provides many of your basic needs, your housing, your transit, your childcare, your health care, your retirement, your food, whether you ask for the help or not. And once the government is the one helping pay your rent, covering your kids' daycare, putting the groceries on your table, and handling your retirement, what happens at the ballot box? You can't vote against the hand that feeds you. You can't fire people by writing your checks. You become a customer, a grateful one. And the party in charge becomes permanent by design. The dependency is the design. Nobody on that ballot is running on restraint. When the man who has championed marriage equality, passed the state's first income tax, is the establishment moderate in the room is moved. And it keeps moving. That's the 735 commentary for Friday, June 19th, 2026. You can text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Join the chat on our YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio, and you can always leave a comment at mynorthwest.com. Ted Biener, traffic's coming up. What are we going to be looking for?
Well, we got a few areas of slowing. I'll tell you more about it in just a few moments.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you. All based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
7:43 now. We check traffic every 10 minutes. Here's Ted Beener.
Thank you, Charlie. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Well, the USA versus Australia World Cup soccer match will start at noon at the Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field, and that means traffic approaching the stadium district is going to get pretty busy later this morning. But right now, it is a Friday light commute on this Juneteenth holiday. There are no reported blocking issues in your way with traffic moving near the speed limit. Just a couple of exceptions, and that includes northbound 405. That's got slowing at times from the Renton curves to the VMAC, and northbound I-5 has some braking from Albro into downtown. The ferries are running on schedule, and the Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing great. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue, that's up to 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is now 28 minutes. 20 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is great at 27 minutes. And from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are about a half hour. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks night all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
We're looking for a high of 83 in Seattle today, so kind of warm for the World Cup match. Tomorrow, it'll be in the mid-70s. Morning clouds will burn off for afternoon sun. 81 on Father's Day Sunday. Monday, upper 80s. Low 90s for Tuesday. Seattle right now, it's 59. Coming up, our conversation with Seattle City Council member Rob Saka talking about security cameras outside the World Cup. We're here for Closets by Design. You ever have one of those mornings you're already behind? Can't find what you need. Your closet's a mess. Pantry's overflowing. Your garage, well, it's basically unusable. Most homes just weren't set up to work the way we actually live. At Closets by Design, it's not just closets. It's a garage where you can park your car, a pantry you can actually use, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, entertainment centers, mudrooms, everything. And here's the key. It's all custom built, designed for your home and your routines. Nothing is off a shelf. Nothing is pre-made. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother. Less clutter, less frustration. Everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN and get your project started today.
Let's say you get into a car accident. You end up getting hurt. You're missing work, and now the insurance company wants you to handle the paperwork yourself while you're still recovering. Here's what happens when you go it alone. They throw out a lowball offer. You're on defense from minute one, and you're scraping for a fair shake against people who do this for a living. But here's what happens when you call Harold Carr Law Offices. They handle everything. The paperwork, the negotiation, the insurance company, all of it. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you what you actually deserve. And trust me, that number is almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington, a huge qualified team, and a free consultation at carlaw.com. Carr is spelled with 2 R's, C-A-R-R. They'll actually listen to you and give you an honest assessment without any pressure. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr. C-A-R-R. carlaw.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Good morning, 7:47 now. With the World Cup here in Seattle, the conversation around safety in the city top of mind, with a debate in recent weeks over whether surveillance cameras should be activated in the downtown corridor around the stadiums. I spoke to Seattle City Council member Rob Saka about his concerns surrounding the massive crowds expected in the city.
I'm very concerned about security, and a minor friendly correction there. I served as former intelligence officer. I did not yet retire and did not yet do that full 20 plus years and retire. But I am an Air Force veteran, and you're right, in the intelligence community more specifically. So as someone who is a practitioner of this work from a broader sort of national security perspective, I think it is far too reactive to wait for a purported credible threat before deciding to turn on those cameras. Because in this case, the people seeking to do our community harm, they need to be right just one time. Whereas as investigators and city officials, government officials, we need to be right every single time. And we don't always know, unfortunately. I wish we did when there was an actual threat. And so I think the best posture to best keep us safe is to keep the cameras on. The underlying risk is not going to go away. The underlying threat is not going to go away after FIFA World Cup. I'm proud to share and excited to share as a proud Seattle sports fan. The Mariners are going to go. They're going to make another World Series run. The Seahawks are going to compete again for more Super Bowls. The Stadium District hosts 90 big events, per year, including nearby concerts in the area, et cetera. Again, we welcome thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to that area. Large concentration of people. The threat isn't going away. And finally, I'll just close out this issue by saying, yes, my perspective is informed by my experience as a practitioner in this space from a national security perspective, as a former intelligence officer, but also as a qualifier, finisher, and survivor of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. Me and my wife were 1 block away from the finish line on near Boylston Street in Boston in 2013 when the bombs exploded. And I'll never forget the terror and impact that unfolded and ensued in those days. And those cameras help investigators quickly identify the suspects and resolve the case and ultimately prevent many further tragedies. So in my hand here, I'm holding, and I know the listeners can't see it, but I'm holding the finisher medal for the 2013 Boston Marathon. It's a personal symbol of pride for me, someone who made it to the Mecca of marathons and finished, but also I think a reminder for all of us that let us never forget the lessons of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. We have this important tool. We baked in the best in class, best in the nation privacy safeguards and controls to prevent misuse. Let's use them. That's the responsible thing here.
Okay, and just because it can be a little blunt sometimes, I think what you're saying is leave the cameras on after the World Cup.
Let's leave the cameras on. Let's keep people safe. Let's empower investigators and better be able to position our city to hold people accountable for criminal acts and potentially domestic or national terrorist acts as well. So yes, let's keep them on.
Council member Rob Saka, pleasure having you on the show today. Let's have you on again soon in the future.
I would absolutely love that. And, here we are in the middle of World Cup. I'll just close out by saying, go Team USA.
It's 7:51. Today's World Cup match between USA and Australia may not be the last time we see the Stars and Stripes at Lumen Field. Former Sounders play-by-play man Matt Johnson tells KIRO Radio's G and Ursula if all goes well, the U.S. men's national team will be back in Seattle next month.
If the USA win the group and win the round of 32, they'll be here for the round of 16 match, and they should play Belgium.
Now they got to get past Australia first. That game, again, is set for noon today. In Everett, World Cup watch parties are drawing fans and driving up business along the waterfront. Menchie's at the marina owner Leah Carl tells KIRO 7 TV the popularity of her business exceeded her expectations.
FIFA World Cup, graduation, end of the school year, all in the same week has just added to the excitement for everybody.
Bartender at the nearby Scuttlebutts Brewing says after the matches, a lot of fans come in to wait out the crowds and avoid the traffic. Well, if you're avoiding the traffic by taking a bus to the World Cup, King County Metro adding 60 buses today to handle those crowds.
There's also a match day shuttle between Seattle Center and the stadium. Sound Transit lines 1 and 2 are operating every 6 minutes with extended hours. And Sounder will also offer additional service for the N and S lines.
That's KIRO 7's L. Thomas. World Cup traffic exposing what some drivers say are confusing parking rules downtown. A visitor from Colorado says her car was nearly towed when she parked near Pike Place Market. This man tells KIRO 7 TV he did eventually find a spot.
All the parking, like people were just like, for the parking for the light rail, so it was just like horrible there. So I was like, well, I'll just give it a shot downtown, and worked out. Got lucky.
Seattle officials say restrictions are stricter on match days. Drivers should double check posted times. Luke Ducey was joining us live a little earlier. He said this morning he saw more cars being towed than he had ever seen in his life. So they are taking that very seriously down in the Stadium District. FBI investigators are warning about scam ticket sales ahead of today's World Cup match. Cybersecurity researchers Asaf Morag tells KIRO 7 TV he's found tickets to matches that don't even exist.
When I said I wanted a match ticket between Italy and Russia, I even invented a country in Southeast Europe. And they said, okay, we have the tickets.
Match between the U.S. and Australia is sold out. Legit tickets on the resale market are about $2,000 for the cheap seats. 7:53, time to check traffic on the threes. We head over to the traffic desk with Ted Beener.
Thank you. Your Friday morning commute moving pretty well. We don't have any blocking issues. Always good news. And near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. Just a few slowdowns here and there, and they include northbound I-5 from Albro into downtown, and northbound 405 slows at times from the Renton Curves to the VMAC. Drive times, Everett to Seattle and Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes. Very good. While Tacoma to Seattle, that has risen to 43 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time, 28 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue, that's actually improved now to about 20 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Warm stretch of weather in front of us, maybe even hot by many standards. Let's take a look at it. 83 the forecast high today. It'll be sunny in Seattle. Clouds to start off the morning tomorrow, but afternoon sun. A high of 75. Then the heat up begins. 81 on Father's Day Sunday, which is also the official start of summer. Then on Monday, upper 80s, and we're talking low 90s for Tuesday. So yeah, it's going to get toasty around here, and be ready. Right now in Seattle, it is sunny and 59. Remember, our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas, mynorthwest.com, and you can always text the show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. And don't forget, we have the chat open on YouTube Live as we're streaming live. You can get in the conversation at KIRO News Radio. Be sure to like and subscribe. Coming up, more of the day's top headlines. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is at Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lewin Field, ahead of the World Cup. And at 8:15, it's the Rick Riz Show. World Cup, not the only sporting event happening in town today. First place Mariners are playing this afternoon. Make that this evening. Rick will talk about their matchup against the Red Sox coming up.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News. Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
There's nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden, and it's a great time to get to Sky Nursery and plant before the summer heat. Explore Sky's colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, veggies and herbs, fountains, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. skynursery.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Give something that matters this Father's Day. Time. At LeMay, America's Car Museum, you'll share stories, laughter, and interest in something new. All ages will find enjoyment from the most advanced racing simulators in the world to children's activities and grab lunch at Cafe El Coreano. It's more than a visit. It's a lifelong memory for dads and kids of every age. It's the gift you'll never forget. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. A diplomat with knowledge of the situation told ABC News Hezbollah and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire mediated by Qatar, the U.S., and Iran. But a spokesperson for the Israeli military says they have not gotten any instructions, so they're continuing operations. Israel's military struck targets throughout southern Lebanon. This as the U.S.-Iran talks scheduled for today in Switzerland are postponed. Price of regular gasoline lower, but still $1 higher since the Iran war started. New problems with the reflecting pool in Washington in front of the Lincoln Memorial. After a nearly $15 million renovation touted by President Trump, the blue paint sealant on the floor is peeling, flaking off, and there's green algae. ABC's Jonathan Carl.
In a late-night social media post on Wednesday, the Trump administration said the water was now, quote, crystal clear. It may be eventually, but it's anything but clear now.
This is ABC News. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he will fight attempts by a rival, Andy Burnham, to oust him from office.
There isn't a leadership contest.
But when there is,
at
it's
the
imminent,
moment,
Prime Minister,
there
isn't
isn't one at the moment. But as I've said on many occasions, I don't think that's a good thing for the country.
Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, has won a seat in Parliament in a special election and is looking to replace Starmer as leader of the Labour Party and the country.
I will work relentlessly to make what the people have voted for here happen.
Burnham is a political insider, formerly holding high government jobs, promoting an image of an everyman, regular guy, outsider. June 19th, on this day in 1964, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed by the Senate. Cuba's Communist Party has approved of an emergency economic package with unprecedented free market measures. The plan aims to expand private enterprise and attract foreign investment. Cuba's National Assembly would need to approve. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
At 8:02, here is what's happening. A Kent man is behind bars accused of secretly filming young girls inside a Target in Victoria. He faces several charges. The Washington Supreme Court has upheld a record $35 million fine against Meta, the largest campaign finance penalty in state history. State says Facebook's parent company repeatedly failed to disclose who paid for political ads. And check before you swim this week, Public Health has closed Juanita Beach and Waverly Beach in Kirkland over high bacteria levels. Keep your kids and pets out of the water. Time to check traffic now. Every 10 minutes. Ted Biener, this is a national holiday, but we might have a bit of a traffic crunch coming up later.
We just might. We've got something about a USA versus Australia World Cup soccer match starting at noon down in the Stadium District. Yeah, well, traffic's pretty light right now, but it's going to get busy here later this morning. Yeah, it is a Friday-like commute on this Juneteenth holiday. We don't have any reported blocking issues in your way. Traffic moving very well near the speed limit. Just a few slowdowns to highlight, and they include northbound 405 from Renton curves to the VMAC, and northbound I-5 has some brake lights from Albro into downtown. Ferries are running on schedule, and the Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing great. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue is 21 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is 25 minutes. 16 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is great at 26 minutes. And coming in from the north end, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are about a half hour. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic.
8:03 on the Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger. The wait is over. The U.S. takes on Australia in World Cup action today. Seattle is alive with energy. Whether you're making your way to the stadium, gathering at a watch party, or tuning in from home, we've got what you need to know. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joining us live from the Stadium District with more. Hey, Luke.
Hey, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, super huge buzz outside of Lumen Field here this morning where the fans more and more are streaming in. A lot of red, white, and blue I see, and they're starting to line up outside of Lumen Field because the doors open at 9 o'clock, and there's special prizes for people who get here early. Won't go into it, but because I've got some prizes right here. What a weird introduction, but as weird as these guys are, I think it's kind of fitting. I've got Brent and Evan from, I'm going to get to that in a second, brothers, and you tell me where you came from.
Yeah, we are from Texas, but we live in Puerto Rico, baby. Long flight to be here, but we're so happy to be here.
And you're psyched to be here, and they are, I'll just say, Brent is head to toe in a onesie, stars on one side, stripes on the other, and we're not going to show you the underwear, but I saw it. It was red, white, and blue. Evan's got the flow. You got the nice mullet going in the back.
My God, thank you so much. I wish the listeners could see us right now because I got the jumper on too. Stars and stripes, baby. We're matching, but I got the short shorts instead of the long pants.
Little World Cup keychain around your neck as well. So, what is your, you've been here in Seattle for I don't know how long, maybe a day or so. Yeah. What's your impression? Is it a nice city? Do you love the city? And what about this game? How psyched are you for it?
It's been unbelievable. The mountain is out. It's the warmest welcome we ever could have had. And we're stoked for this game. Australia versus the United States. This is truly a dream come true. Well, his wife is an Aussie, which the household is divided. House divided. But we will be more upset if USA loses. We're not even saying that. They're going to win today. They're going to win. It's going to be a big win. And we get bragging rights for the rest of our lives. Yes, we do.
I'm telling you, these two guys are the guys you want to go to a game with and party. All right, give me whatever cheer you guys go on. I've signed a lot of them. I've heard you say USA, USA. I've heard others. Give me something. Give me something.
USA! 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 Let's go! Yeah, baby!
These are the fans you want to be with, and this is the buzz that's happening outside of Lumen Field right now. Thank you so much, guys. There are a lot of Aussies here, too, though, coming off. Oh, I'm going to pound them out of here because they've got to go on their way to go explore the rest around the stadiums and what's going on. A lot of Aussies in town as well. And speaking of Aussies, trickling in here through to Lumen Field, there are a lot of them. Give me 1 second as I've got a technical difficulty on my computer. I'm trying to get it open. Anyways, I can't. But anyways, a lot of them trickling in, and they're in clusters, and they're excited as well. Everyone knows this match is going to be a huge match because the winner of this match, this is a big, big game, will no doubt win Group D in the World Cup and then move on to the knockout stage. So a lot riding on this. For the team who loses, well, they can still get there, but it's going to be a more difficult route. Speaking of Aussies pouring into the city, a lot of expats here, of course, but we also talked with a manager of a pub, the Kangaroo and Kiwi in Ballard, and they told me back in December, when they learned that Australia, the Socceroos, were slated to come here to Seattle, they had a little panic moment.
My first thought was, oh my gosh, we are going to get busy. We're like, we got to start planning now. Like, everybody's going to come to the pub. Everybody's going to be in Seattle for this.
Yeah, Ayana, the manager there, told me, and then they calmed down a little bit, but the very next day, my gosh, they started getting calls from everywhere, including from fans in Australia trying to book a table.
Actually, the day of, saying, hey, we're going to come. Can we get a reservation for a table? And we were like, sorry, no reservations, first come, first serve. We had, for the first Australian game, we had a full house, and 75% of them flew in from Australia.
Yeah, they did. And I'll tell you what, the last game for Australia, the Socceroos, was up in Vancouver. And apparently the stories are, and I saw news reports as well, Aussie fans drank the pubs dry there. The party has already started here. There's going to be plenty of that, but other celebrations as well. And if you are going to their pub, they say, be ready.
Get in, get early, get ready to drink all day and party all day with us.
Coming up at 8:30, guys, if we're not pumped up enough, the field for FIFA games must be a grass field. So they had to transform Lumen Field and like 8 other stadiums around the U.S. as well. We're going to tell you how they did that, and we're going to show you how they did that also on mynorthwest.com. Stick around. We got plenty of buzz outside Lumen Field here for the World Cup as hundreds of fans are starting to pour in now, getting ready for those gates to open. Go USA. I'll just say it. I'm partial. I want them to win, of course. But, yeah, back to you.
Hey, Luke, we've got about 4 hours at kickoff. I can't help but notice on all this coverage here, beverages are being consumed freely this morning. Is that kind of the idea? Maybe I should have my finger on the dump button the next time you have a live guest on?
Did they say something that I didn't catch?
They didn't.
God. Okay, thank God. Well, yes, I would, because I'll tell you what, I put myself up to this concrete block to put my stuff down right next to a half-drunk Monster can right there with a glass, right there, plastic cup rather, full. So someone was here before me drinking. It's 6 a.m.
Luke Ducey. Pace yourself, people. Pace yourself. Reporting live. We will continue our World Cup coverage throughout the morning. Now, across the way at Pioneer Square Embassy Suites, the hotel, they went on strike yesterday. They just walked off the job.
Union workers there demanding year-round health coverage, protection from ICE, raises, and improved staffing. We're told the timing is intentional with the hotel being right next to Seattle Stadium. We did reach out to the hotel. They said in part, quote, we remain committed to negotiating. We are also focused on providing our guests with our signature hospitality and have contingency plans in place to ensure operations continue to run as smoothly as possible.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Fans are going a little nuts, a little crazy outside Lumen Field. Yeah, producer David, I had to refamiliarize myself. Okay, where's the dump button? Luke
one of the beauties of live radio. I love it.
Luke has a talent at drawing those people in. So.
Yes, he has had previous reports that were pretty intense as well.
So if you're listening right now, you've got any ideas, don't worry. Old Harger has the dump button at the ready. Thanks for being here this morning on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger. We have Manda and Sully taking the day off. They will be back next week. Ted Biener filling in. Ted, thanks for being here.
The pinch hitter, yes.
Yeah, and we're getting ready for kind of a strange traffic pattern today.
Absolutely. It's been quiet this morning, but it's starting to get busy around the Stadium District.
There you go. We'll be on top of that. This is Seattle's Morning News. Joining us a little later will be Rick Riz with the Rick Riz Show, and then we'll also have consumer man Herb Weisbaum talking about the latest wave of phishing scams. So 11 now. Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle says he doesn't have a lot of confidence in the plan from Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson to clean up the scene at 12th and Jackson. He says the city doesn't often follow through on those promises. In terms of cleaning up sex traffic on Aurora Avenue, he tells the John Curley Show the key is going after the buyers.
A man on Aurora who has a girl that's 17 years and 364 days, it's a felony. The next day, when she turns 18, it's less than stealing candy from a store.
He's pushing for a police surge and more help for victims. 8:12 now. Let's get a check on the weather, and it looks like it'll be nice and sunny today. 83 the forecast high. Tomorrow, morning clouds, but afternoon sun. A high of 75, so kind of perfect. Sunday, we're talking about temperatures in the low 80s. Summer arrives at 124 Sunday morning. On Monday, high of 88, and then on Tuesday, low 90s. Right now in Seattle, it's 62. Time to check traffic every 10 minutes. Ted Biener is filling in for Sully today.
Can I add a little bit more to that weather?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people going to this soccer match in the Stadium District today. Yes. And when they start the game at noon, the temperature is going to be in the lower 70s. And by the time it finishes, it will start approaching 80 degrees. But for those who are down in the lower bowl, that's a grass field now. Luke's been highlighting that. That means they have to irrigate it. And when its sun is shining right on it, that grass is evaporating all that moisture and it gets really humid. And so temperatures down there for the players, the coaches, etc., it's going to be pretty warm, probably closer to 90 degrees as well as a higher humidity.
Little factoid from meteorologist Ted.
There you go. All right, traffic-wise, this traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Your Friday morning commute's moving quite well. We don't have any blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region, but it is starting to get busy around the Stadium District ahead of noon's USA-Australia World Cup soccer match. Just a few slowdowns to report, and they include northbound I-5. That's got braking from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown, and northbound 405 has got some slowing from the Renton Curves to the VMAC. Drive times, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Lefeville to Tacoma, that's close to 30 minutes. While Tacoma to Seattle has eased to 40 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, that drive time is just 25 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue has improved to just under 20 minutes. Get a new carrier cooling system now from Home Comfort Alliance and save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit Home Comfort Alliance now. That's homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
We are underway.
There's only one Rick Riz.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs. Number 258, a Major League record for Ichiro.
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Yeah, it's that time of week where we call up legendary Mariners broadcaster Rick Riz. Rick, I think it was last week at this time I was saying, Woo wasn't having his best stuff. He really turned around yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, Charlie and David, all he needed to do was come home, basically. His record here at home at T-Mobile Park was amazing. Going to that ball game yesterday in 6 starts, he was 4-0 with a 2.37 ERA, but he was incredible. He was Brian Wu yesterday. He retired, first 8 batters in a row, and a low pitch count. He pitched into the 8th inning for the first time since, I think, July of last year. So he had it working, that four-seam fastball up, the two-seamer in on left-handed hitters, the sweeper, the breaking butt pitch, and the changeup. And he was really tough. So that's what the Mariners needed because, man, they've been banged up, so many injuries. And he got deep in the ball game. It was good to see Bizzardo come in and bail him out, help him out there in the 8th inning. Munoz got the final 3 outs in the 9th. So that was a big win for the ball club to win a series after a rough game the night before.
Rick, it was also obviously really great to see Cal make his return this week. First game back, it was really good to see him get that go-ahead RBI hit. What does he do to the lineup on a day-to-day basis? What kind of challenges does he present to an opposing pitcher, and kind of how does he fill out the lineup to you?
Well, he just lengthens the lineup in that number 2 spot, which is usually now the best hitter, in the order now in baseball, it seems like, where it used to be the number 3 guy. But, I mean, this guy was the best hitter, I think, in baseball last year with his 60 home runs, 125 runs batted in, and hit for a really good average as well. So he presents a problem because he's a left-handed hitter. He's a right-handed hitter. He bats from both sides of the plate. So that breaking ball is always coming in. So last year, I think he was the most dominant offensive player in baseball. This year, he had the injuries in the early part of the year. He got the slow start because of the World Baseball Classic, and his timing just wasn't there, David. And then the injury, and that's a tough injury to come back from, the strained oblique. It takes a while. It takes at least a month, and it was a month. He goes down to AAA and tears it up down there. He got his timing back, so right away he had a big base hit to win a game 3 days ago, the 2-run single to break up a 1-1 tie. So what he does, he just lengthens the lineup. He's a huge piece of the offense. You can't pitch around him because he's surrounded by Crawford, who's doing well in leadoff spot, Julio behind him, and right now he's a little bit dinged up. And then, but what he does more importantly than anything is he fixes problems when he's catching, when a pitcher has a little bit of a struggle like he did with Logan 3 days ago. He threw a lot of pitches in the first inning, but he didn't give up a big inning. Yeah, he gave up a run, and Cal just knows him so well. They were teammates in A-ball, so he goes out there and calms him down. And that's one of the most important things that Cal does, what he does, behind the plate. So they got the MVP back in the lineup. He was the MVP in my mind last year, David. As you know, I'm going to keep saying it to the high heavens. But, man, it's great to have him back.
Well, when I walked in here yesterday, Rick, David was really wound up, almost beside himself when we heard that Julio had that twinge in the hammy, is what I think Dan Wilson said. How is he doing? What does that look like?
Well, they cooled it down. Yesterday it wasn't in the lineup, and you want to make sure that he's okay, that he doesn't really injure the hamstring, because then you got to put him on the IL like Randy Arozarena right now. They tried to see if Randy could come back, and they couldn't. So they want to make sure that Julio is all right. A couple of days ago, he went chasing after that long fly ball into the gap in left center field. He had a long leap, and he left kind of early and then landed kind of funny, and that's when he kind of tweaked his hamstring. So they're keeping their fingers crossed, and hopefully that maybe we might see him in the lineup tonight. But there's always a good possibility that if you're not quite certain if he's ready, give him another day to make sure, because you can't lose a Julio Rodriguez. So it's amazing, all the numbers of injuries to so many players, and they're still in first place, in the American League West, because guys have stepped up, and Miles Mastrobuoni taking over at first base for Josh Naylor, then going out to left field with no Julio in the lineup yesterday. It's amazing how the guys have stepped up.
I mean, you talk about guys stepping up, and you think of, amongst all the injuries, a guy with so much consistency, and I just look at Cole Young, who I believe has started every single game this season. And, what does that kind of consistency do for the team, and just kind of maybe some of the veterans seeing such a young guy in there every day, putting in the work?
Yeah, just check off that box when Dan Wilson makes up the lineup card. There's Cole Young at second base. But now he's been moving up in the order because of so many injuries, with no Luke Raley, who's out, with sore back, and with Randy Arozarena on the IL, with Julio out. He just keeps moving farther up in the order, and there he is, fifth in the order yesterday. And he was the right spot at the right time, David. He gets that base hit, the double down the left field line to drive in the first of 3 runs. The kid just is not overwhelmed. You take a look at him, you watch him in the batter's box in every situation with nobody on, or if the bases are loaded, he's exactly the same. And he hits the ball where it's pitched. He got a pitch up and away yesterday, got behind it and drove it the other way down the left field line for an RBI double. Colt Emerson comes up, gets a 2-run single. All this happening with 2 outs. But at 22 years of age, he is one of the most cool, calm, and collected hitters that I've ever seen in this organization. So the Mariners are going to have Colt and Cole up the middle there for a long time. And that's because J.P. Crawford, I got to give J.P. a lot of credit here, saying, hey, I'll help out. I'll go to third base. And he's playing third base like Brooks Robinson.
He looks good over there, doesn't he?
He does. You know, and he looks like he's been there for a long time. The ball gets to him a heck of a lot quicker at third than it does at short. At short, you can read ground balls and try to get a better hop. At third, you got to react. And, man, he's been making nice plays, shots to his left, a diving play to his left, a diving play to his right, and throwing runners out at first base. So making good decisions. We're in a position where he hasn't played since 2018 with the Phillies. And I tell you what, he's done a heck of a job there. And that's just a veteran guy doing what needs to be done to win a ball game for his team and to help out the younger guys that work with him, Colt Emerson and Cole Young.
So today is a massive day for Seattle sports. I think it was the playoffs when the Mariners and Seahawks played on the same day. But here we are again where we got the World Cup and the Mariners. For fans who are just coming down and experiencing the scene, what do you want them to see and take back with their impression of what Seattle's like?
I think I hope they take back that Seattle is one of the greatest cities in this country. You know, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. We didn't have any mountains. Everything was paved, you know. And, you know, when I first flew out here in 1983, I saw mountains and trees and lakes. I live in Issaquah, and I love it here. I'm looking out my backyard at these huge pine trees, and it's just gorgeous. And when I first came out here, I could smell the air, you know, as compared to going to other cities. So I think they're going to take back that this is one of the most beautiful cities in this country with great people, great food, and they love their sports. They love their baseball. They love their Mariners. They love their Seahawks. The Seahawks are Super Bowl champion for the second time. We are a sports city. We're bringing the world here for the World Cup. And by the way, if you're coming out to the ball game tonight, get there early. So I think they're going to take back that, hey, Seattle is a really gem. One of the great cities in this country, and the people who live here make it great.
Maybe we'll bring home another trophy that starts with World as well a little later this year.
I like that. You're not kidding.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Charlie, that would be wonderful. We came so close last year, but once they get this ball club healthy, they can do it. They haven't had their lineup for the whole season. You know, Brendan Donovan, we can spend another 5 minutes talking about the injuries. Brendan Donovan is still out. Wait till he comes back, and Luke Raley and Josh Naylor's finally back, so they've been amazing. So it was a lot of fun yesterday, and Brian Wu he was really special. All
right. Catch Rick on 710 Seattle Sports tonight for the play-by-play. Rick Riz joins us every Friday with The Rick Riz Show. It's 8:23. Let's head over to the traffic desk, and that's where we find Ted Biener filling in.
Thank you. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Well, the USA versus Australia World Cup soccer match will start at noon at the Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field. And traffic approaching the stadium district is getting busy. We got those gates opening at 9 a.m. Otherwise, right now, it is a Friday light commute on this Juneteenth holiday. There are no reported blocking issues in your way, with traffic moving very well, pretty close to the speed limit. Only a few slowdowns, and they include northbound I-5 as you're approaching the stadium district. That's got slowing from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown, and northbound 405 has some pausing from the Renton curves to the VMAC. Drive times, Auburn to Renton is just 10 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 20 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle is 25 minutes, 15 of those are from South Center, and from the north end, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are great at just under a half hour. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Sunny, 83 today, 75 tomorrow, and 81 on Father's Day Sunday. 62 right now in Seattle. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey down at the stadium ahead of the World Cup match. And coming up as well, consumer man Herb Weisbaum, latest on phishing scams. That's all on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, cruise fans, you want to see more of the destination you came to explore? Try Uncruise Adventures. With only 22 to 86 guests, your ship is your floating base camp, a launch pad into wild bays, quiet coves, and places big ships can't go. Trade Vegas-style shows for Mother Nature's show. All-inclusive, award-winning adventures in Alaska, Mexico, Hawaii, Costa Rica, and the Galapagos. Visit uncruise.com and talk to an adventure specialist today. Tell them you heard it from Rick Riz for exclusive savings.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Load up the paddle boards, pack the hiking boots, and point the hood toward adventure in a Subaru Outback. Carter Subaru has the largest Subaru selection in our state with over 800 Subarus in stock. And right now you can drive home a 2026 Subaru Outback with just 0.9% APR financing. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/26.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Just hours away from the kickoff of United States versus Australia in World Cup action here in Seattle, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live in the Stadium District talking with fans, and just what a day, Luke.
Yeah, what a day indeed, Charlie. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, right outside here at Lumen Field in the north end near the Hawk Nest. I got to tell you, I'm pretty crazy. You know I'm pretty crazy. So I'm surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of fans right now, queued up, ready to get into the game. But I'm going to do something stupid. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm going to be really embarrassed. But here we go. Hey, soccer fans, listen up. I'm live on KIRO News Radio right now. Give me a USA! 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 USA!
USA!
USA! USA! Oh my God, I just got hundreds of people to chant that with me. That's ridiculous, but go USA! But that's how it is out here. That's the buzz and the excitement. You know, this is a big game. This is the game right here. U.S. coming off of a huge 4-1 win against Paraguay. But whoever wins this game today, that means they will own and be at the top of Group D with 6 points, and that means they will win the group. If there's a tie, well, then both teams would have 4 points, and that means it's anyone's game. The U.S. will play Turkey next, so let's hope the U.S. wins this game. The Aussies, better known as the Socceroos, they're a physical team. This game could get chippy if it gets close to the end. You know, let's pivot, though, as the cheers continue behind me, because one of the rules that FIFA has is that all games must be played on natural grass. There are 8 stadiums that had to transform from artificial turf to grass for the World Cup, including Lumen Field. Back in January, before the Seahawks NFC Championship game here at Lumen Field, I met with John Wright, the man in charge of the field for Seahawks games, Sounders games, concerts, and everything else. And he took me through the process of how to transform Lumen Field's turf into grass. It has been a 4-year project and a dream come true.
I mean, that's why we're here. So to have the opportunity to do things like that that's why I do this. Yeah. You know, I'm not doing this just to punch in and go 9 to 5. It's to accomplish things and make the world of sport better in any way we can.
Yeah, the cool thing is the grass is like a combination of real grass and synthetic grass as well for that durability. The field also includes some state-of-the-art equipment.
With irrigation, vacuum ventilation, and working with FIFA has been super enlightening to see that international perspective and how they approach playing surfaces.
And I love that story. And if you want to see more and if you want to see the actual transformation, go to mynorthwest.com. I created a video of that as well. More in-depth interviews with John and his crew. He's been doing this for the last 27 years. Hey, what a great morning. We are 3.5 hours to kick off. Let's go Team USA.
USA!
That's right. There you go. The buzz outside of Lumen Field. It's real. Live. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
All right. Good work this morning, Luke. Time to check traffic. Here is Ted Beener in for Sully today.
Thank you. Your Friday morning commute's moving quite well. We don't have any blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. It is getting busy around the Stadium District, though, ahead of noon's USA-Australia World Cup soccer match. Do have a few slowdowns, and they include northbound I-5 from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown, and northbound 405 slows at times from the Renton Curves to the VMAC. I'm also seeing a lot of congestion now around the stadium. Drive times, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is close to 30 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle, that has eased to 37 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is just 25 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue, that has improved to 17 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Sunny, a high of 83 today, 62 right now in Seattle.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
You remember where you were 30 years ago? That's when the term phishing was first coined to describe a new type of online scam. Ah, memories. Now, phishing attacks are the new number one cyber threat faced by most Americans. Not only are there more phishing attacks, but the scammers have gotten better at tricking us. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum is here with the fraudsters' latest tricks and traps. Herb is a contributing editor at checkbook.org. Okay, Herb, why don't we start with how do these scams work?
Sure. Phishing attacks are messages that are bogus that appear to come from a trusted source, such as the IRS or Social Security or your bank or credit card company or a package delivery service that are designed to trick you into giving the crooks your personal information. That could be passwords, that could be a credit card number or a bank account number. And they're responsible, according to the FBI, for most cyber-enabled crimes these days. Phishing no longer relegated to email, Charlie. Text message phishing, which is called smishing, is now the primary means of attack. So people tend to respond more quickly when they're on their cell phone and don't think about it. So they're moving to the text message realm. And they're also now on instant messaging apps, social media, malicious advertisements, copycat websites to target victims. So you really need to be much more cautious and don't verify before you trust anything. Assume there might be a problem with it.
Herb, we used to think we could spot scam emails because they looked like they were written by a drunk robot, bad spelling, weird grammar, strange wording. But with AI, things have really changed, haven't they?
Yeah, now they're written by a sober robot, Charlie. There's no more the old rule, look for typos, improper grammar, misspellings. That's gone. They can do proper grammar, English, anything. They could do English, they could do Spanish, they could do French, whatever they want. Copy the logos, copy the websites. So that old rule to look for that is out the window.
Okay, well, in your checkbook story, you talk about a scam that starts with something totally normal, an electronic party invitation. It feels kind of nasty because most people don't think of Evite as dangerous. And I like being invited to things. How does this trap work, Herb?
Yeah, Charlie, it comes in, you're excited, you want to open it up to see what's going on. With the malicious Evite scams, what's happening is that you are being asked to put in most cases, your password, the email for your password. In order to open this thing up or do what you need to do, you've got to put in your password for your email, something a legitimate Evite or one of these electronic invitations would never do. By doing that, you're basically giving the scammers the keys to the kingdom, because remember, your email is how half of usually your login, and it's also the way you reset your password. So once they can take over and compromise your email, they can do all kinds of nasty things.
Okay, well, this is where people get traps because the message looks real. It feels urgent. Your instinct is to respond. How do we train ourselves to do something else instead?
Couple of tips for these Evite scams. First of all, check the sender's email. The invite will always come from the corporate official URL. If it's a personal email address, such as from Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, it is a scam. Inspect any link you're asked to click. Just hover your mouse over the link and look to see what the actual URL, the actual web address is. If it doesn't lead directly to that official platform, evite.com or paperlesspost.com or punchbowl.com, don't click it regardless of how legitimate it looks. Don't provide any passwords. A legitimate invitation won't prompt you to log into your email or provide your email password to view the card or to RSVP to the party. And don't download any files. Some of these infected invitations, Charlie, ask you to download something that will only dump malicious software into your computer that can send the bad guys everything you're doing on your computer. So just be very, very careful.
Okay, where do we find out more?
You can find out more of the full article on checkbook.org. It even has one. There's a new CAPTCHA scam, Charlie, that we're warning people about. You're familiar with CAPTCHAs, right? Where you got to do the
they fool me all the time, Herb.
They've now infected them and compromised them, making people download something. Again, the dead giveaway. You don't have to download anything, but we explain how the CAPTCHA scam works too. Checkbook.org.
Okay. I'm looking, if you're watching on YouTube Live, I'm looking inside this room where Herb is, and he just so happens to have an Emmy Award above his left shoulder. Look at that, Herb. How talented are you? Winning an Emmy.
The other four downstairs, I didn't want to be braggadocious.
Yeah. Just rub it in. You know I didn't win.
Other shoulder, Charlie, so I got it counterbalanced.
You'd be a terrible TV weatherman, Herb.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
One last tip. Trust your gut. If you're doing something and it just doesn't seem right, whether it's a text, an email, a phone call, if it doesn't seem right, trust your gut. It's your body trying to warn you that something's wrong. Don't do anything. Check it out. Talk to a friend and neighbor. Call the AARP Fraud Watch Network. Something because there's no undo button in the digital world. Once you send the information, it's gone.
Why don't I give people your personal phone number?
Absolutely. Go ahead. It's 425-CHARLIE.
Herb Weisbaum, good as always to talk to you. Go Team USA. I'm sure you're hanging on for that. Okay, Herb Weisbaum joins us every Friday on Seattle's Morning News. Ted, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we got busy things around the stadium district. I'll tell you more about it in just a few moments.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Give something that matters this Father's Day. Time. At LeMay, America's Car Museum, you'll share stories, laughter, and interest in something new. All ages will find enjoyment from the most advanced racing simulators in the world to children's activities and grab lunch at Cafe El Coreano. It's more than a visit. It's a lifelong memory for dads and kids of every age. It's the gift you'll never forget. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
8:43, Ted Biener is here with traffic.
All right, that USA-Australia World Cup soccer match, that's going to start at noon at the Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field. Traffic approaching the stadium district is getting busy with the gates opening at 9 a.m. I'm looking at the map here, a lot of red right around that Soto area. So, yes, be ready for that. Take your time in that area. There are a few minor slowdowns, and they include northbound I-5 from that approaching traffic. And it's getting close to I-90 down into downtown, and northbound 405 slows at times from the Renton Curves to the Kennydale Hill. The ferries are running on schedule for those heading out of town, and the Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing great. Drive times, Auburn to Renton is just 10 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is now down to 16 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is only 20 minutes. 14 of those are from South Center, and from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are great at under a half hour. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
We're headed for a high of 83 today, 75 tomorrow, 81 on Sunday. Right now it's sunny and 62 in Seattle. And coming up, we'll have Paul Holden with the Weekend Planner. This is Seattle's Morning News. Word here for Closets by Design. It is exactly what we wanted. Let me tell you about our spare bedroom that Closets by Design came in, and instead of having a desk crammed in one corner and the guest bed taking up most of the room, we got a wall bed and a custom desk installed, meaning the rare times we have company over and spending the night, like this weekend, we will be able to just pull down the wall bed and convert it into our bedroom, but otherwise we use it as a home office. That has been a game changer, especially when I'm at home in the afternoon. I'm writing the commentary. I have a nice wide open room and place to think. This is something special at Closets by Design because they make everything custom. Nothing is pre-made, and they do so much more than just closets. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call them 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. What a week of variety. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, passengers saw it all: humpbacks breaching and lunge feeding, bigs killer whales hunting, and gray whales feeding near the shoreline. Minke whales sliced through large schools of fish in the Strait of Juan de Fuca, while playful Pacific white-sided dolphins surfed alongside boats in Port Angeles. Add in tufted puffins, sea otters, harbor porpoises, bald eagles, and stellar sea lions, and nearly every trip became a wildlife treasure hunt. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Well, here we are. It's 8:47. The weekend is upon us. Summer officially begins this weekend. In case you are looking for something fun to do, KIRO Newsradio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Happy Friday, and we are in for a busy holiday weekend as summer hits full steam ahead. Today is Juneteenth, and there are a variety of celebrations going on throughout the region. Learn the history behind the holiday and the stories of the emancipation of slaves here in the United States during a variety of events, including the Juneteenth Freedom Fest at Jimi Hendrix Park, which features music, culture, food, community, and more. The Juneteenth Freedom Fest is today, starting at noon. There's also the Sound of Connection Juneteenth celebration at the Northwest African American Museum, starting at 10 a.m., the Juneteenth celebration at Shoreline City Hall at 2, and in Tacoma, the Juneteenth celebration will be taking over the LeMay Car Museum's Hobb Field for a day of live music, food, prayer, and more. The fun starts at noon. Juneteenth is also a Discover Pass free day, so you won't need a Discover Pass to check out over 140 parks in Washington. As always, plan ahead for extra crowds. The famous Fremont Solstice Parade returns on Saturday as part of the Fremont Fair festivities. Yes, that means the nude Solstice Cycle Ride returns as well. But the people-powered parade puts the spotlight on community artists, floats, performances, and many more. No motor vehicles are allowed during the parade, so that's what also makes this event people-powered. The parade is only part of the fun that will take over Fremont during the Fremont Fair. There will be tons of live music and other performances, plenty of food trucks, a craft market, and lots more as you dive into the Fremont Funk. The fair is free to attend on Saturday and Sunday. All the events we're talking about so far would be a perfect way to celebrate the dads out there, as Sunday is Father's Day. If you're still looking for things to do with Dad, you can check out the Olympic Air Show at the Olympia Regional Airport, or enjoy free entry for dads on Sunday if they're accompanied by a child at the Museum of Flight. Edmonds is putting on the Edmonds Art Festival all weekend long. It's a showcase of over 160 artists while also serving up live entertainment, food trucks, and fun for the entire family. There's also the Fenders on Front Street Car Show at the Downtown Issaquah Association from 8 to 3, and the Seattle Mariners are in town for a weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. Maybe your dad is a fan of strawberries, and if that's the case, you're in luck this weekend, as there's not only one, but two strawberry-themed festivals taking place. In Marysville, you'll find carnival rides, a beer garden, a variety of live entertainment, a parade, a car show, and of course, tons of strawberries at the Marysville Strawberry Festival, which runs through the weekend at the Ashbury Athletic Field. There'll be a petting zoo on Saturday and a car show on Sunday at the Burien Strawberry Festival, plus plenty of live music and entertainment, tasty treats, and fun for the whole family as well. Town Square Park in Burien will be where you want to go on Saturday and Sunday. Team USA takes on Australia in the World Cup today, and there are tons of watch parties going on throughout the region. If you want a full list of where all the fun is going down, make sure you check it out on mynorthwest.com, linked in our weekend planner. That way, you'll be able to plan ahead and find a perfect spot to watch one of the biggest games of the tournament. Here's an event sent to us by a listener. There's a fundraiser on Saturday for the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. It's a cribbage tournament that's being held at the fairgrounds on Saturday starting at 5. There will be prizes, and all funds raised will benefit the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. Are you getting into some family fun for Father's Day? Let me know at paulh@KIROradio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
Well, we're gearing up for that World Cup match in Seattle, U.S. versus Australia. Former Sounders play-by-play man Matt Johnson tells KIRO News Radio's G and Ursula a win would be massive for the U.S.
You get through this one, and then you're well on your way to winning the group, and here we go. So it's going to be electric. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal at Lumen Field.
Seattle is adding 8 more ambulances during World Cup matches to handle increased demand. AMR's Chief EMS Officer Curtis Dominguez tells KIRO 7 TV more people are spending more time out in the heat.
So we do expect to have more calls, so we're definitely preparing for that.
FBI investigators warning about scam ticket sales for today's match in Seattle. Cybersecurity researcher Asaf Morag tells KIRO 7 TV he saw tickets to matches that don't even exist.
When I said I wanted a match ticket between Italy and Russia, I even invented a country in Southeast Europe. And they said, okay, yeah, we have the tickets.
Yeah, today's match is sold out. Legit tickets on the resale market cost about $2,000 for the cheap seats.
ABC Entertainment News.
Wonder ever you're a bad man? World needs bad men.
Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are reuniting for the first time since True Detective. The two are set to star in an Apple TV comedy series called Brothers. The first 2 episodes of the show will premiere on September 23rd.
That is a huge shark.
Everyone's favorite week is back. Shark Week returns to Discovery on July 26 with 20 shark-centered premieres. Head to sharkweek.com to catch the full lineup. Bravo has released their first tease for The Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip, Roaring 20th. The special will look back on the franchise's most iconic moments and feature appearances from Real Housewives from New York City, Beverly Hills, and more. The special will premiere on Bravo August 9th. And happy birthday to Zoe Saldana, who's 48 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
At 8:53, we check traffic on the 3s. Ted Biener is watching the roads for us.
Well, we have a semi that's run into the ditch on westbound 410 just after State Route 162. We only have 1 lane getting by that scene there. Otherwise, your Friday morning commute's winding down with traffic moving quite well. No other blocking issues and near speed limit drives throughout the Puget Sound region. But it is getting busy around the Stadium District ahead of noon's USA-Australia World Cup soccer match. There are only a few minor slowdowns, and they include northbound I-5 from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown, and on northbound 405 there is some brake tapping from 167 to Sunset. Drive times, Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma, close to 30 minutes. Tacoma to Seattle is now pretty close to 40 minutes. Puyallup to Renton is just 25 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue has improved to 15 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
We are expecting to have sunshine the balance of the day today with a sunset after 9 p.m. High will be 83. Tomorrow we start with morning clouds, but afternoon sun, 75 for a high then. Then on Sunday, high in the low 80s, sunshine. Monday, we're talking upper 80s, and by Tuesday, low 90s in the forecast. So a hot one ahead. Right now in Moses Lake, it's 72, 76 in Yakima on this side of the mountain. Centralia checking in with 68, 65 in Arlington, 62 in Port Angeles, and in Seattle, it's 66. Remember, you can always text the shows here on KIRO News Radio. The Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476. You can also leave a message at mynorthwest.com. Straight ahead, G and Ursula show. It's Ursula and Angela Poe Russell on a fresh Friday. Just hours away from kickoff in the big USA versus Australia World Cup match. We'll have more coverage from the stadium coming up. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. Deep to right field. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Looking for last-minute Father's Day plans? Treat Dad to a ball game this Sunday at 1:10 as Julio and the squad wrap up their series against the Red Sox. Go to Mariners.com to get your tickets and check out all the Mariners' upcoming events, including Patriotic Fireworks Night on July 3rd versus the Blue Jays, presented by T-Mobile.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone